And we're ready to go at the Meadowlands, where the New York Jets have won the toss. They'll receive, and they're wearing their throwback uniforms from before they were the Jets. Eric Mangini, in his third season as an NFL head coach. And Ken Wisenhunt, who played for the Jets in his last 3 years and then was a tight ends assistant under Al Groh in the year 2000. So he's familiar with the Jets. And this team coming east, and for the Cardinals losing to Washington, sorely would like to win and get even on their eastern trip. There is Leon Washington, who is back to receive the kick from Neil Rackers. It is a short end-over-end kick, and it will be fielded at the 25 by David Bowens. And Bowens returns it 4 yards. So, not in green, perhaps for the first time in his career. Brett Favre making his 257th consecutive start. And Coach, you knew he wasn't going to have that streak broken.
No, he's what, 260-plus games. He wasn't going to let a little ankle get in the way of starting here.
Now, the Jets wearing blue and gold. They were the Titans in 1960 for 3 years before they were known as the Jets. Thus the different colors. Leon Washington is in the backfield now, and 3 wide receivers to the left on first down. And Washington with the carry, looking for running room, and he gets a couple out to the 33. Chike O'Keefe making the tackle. So a look at the Brett Favre run New York Jet offense.
Well, in the middle, they got Nick Mangold, who they drafted a few years back, but they brought in Alan Faneca to shore up that front line. They got a good 1-2 combination with Thomas Jones and Leon Washington behind him. 2 great receivers in Lavernius Coles and Jericho Cotchery to go to on the outside.
And Damian Woody, also a new face on the offensive line. 2nd down and 6. And Lavernius Coles in motion to the right. Again, the pitch goes to Washington off the left side, and the Cardinals are there. And Gerald Hayes making a superb tackle for the Cardinals, limiting to Washington for 1. And Baldy, let's take a look at the Cardinals' improved defense.
Well, they're fast, and they've got a lot of interchangeable parts. They'll play a lot of guys on defense, but one guy not playing today, Adrian Wilson, was their designated blitzer. He was their playmaker, not on the field today, so they've got to overcome a really good player, Pro Bowl player.
And Aaron Francisco, number 47, playing in his place. Bertrand Berry, their top pass rusher, also out. 3rd down and 5 for Favre on the 34. As time to throw, goes up on top, and the pass is knocked away. It was intended for Dustin Keller, the rookie tight end, and good coverage downfield by Antrell Roll and Francisco, the strong safety.
Now, this is just what you're looking for. The tight end splitting down the middle. Brett Favre giving it just enough air to drop it into the hole. Great hit by the safety breaking it up, but you'd love to see your tight end come down with that catch to convert a big 3rd down.
Good job of just conversion right there. Aaron Francisco and Antrell Roll knocking that ball loose.
Ben Graham will be kicking it away. Steve Breston back to return at the 21. Jets missing a couple of tackles, and finally Breston will go down. Couldn't get away from the area. Lost a yard on the return after the 45-yard kick by Graham. So Kurt Warner, who leads the NFC with 6 touchdown passes, feeling his oats, really having a great time, isn't he, with Arizona so far this year? Paul?
Well, he is. I mean, he won a quarterback competition that wasn't supposed to be a competition. But he finished the season so strong last year, taking over in Week 6, that he was in the mix throughout, and they made the right decision, I think, Coach. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, the 1 interception, costly last week, but he's been excellent taking care of the ball.
He has not fumbled yet this year. 1st down at the 21. Leonard Pope has been shaken up, is active, but Ben Patrick, number 89, starts at tight end on the delay. Edgerrin James, who's been their leading rusher, picks up 2 yards, and that's all for Arizona. And the starting lineup for this high-powered offense.
Well, it's high-powered because I think the offensive line has been very good so far this season. They've protected Kurt Warner, and they've opened up a lot of lanes for Edgerrin James. They've got good balance on offense, but if they open this up, it'll put more pressure on that offensive line.
And they do have those big and swift wide receivers. 2nd down and 8 from the 23. Warner getting hit as he unleashes it, and he completes the pass to Larry Fitzgerald. It'll be a first down just shy of the 40-yard line. That's one of those big weapons out there, and a gain of 16.
Well, this is one of the guys that you're talking about, Larry Fitzgerald, running just a dig route.
Taking a look at the Jet defense against Warner and company.
Key for them is in the middle with Crest Jenkins. He's what they missed last year with his size. Bob Sutton says he's the key to what they're doing up front. On the back end, how can Arizona take care of the young corner Dwight Lowry, a rookie out of San Jose State?
Speaking of rookies, Tim Hightower, the 5th-round pick on the pitch into the game, trying the left side, and Hightower is brought down, maybe for no gain on the play. Good pursuit by the Jets, particularly Kenyon Coleman, and a gain of 1.
You see Kurt Warner with the gloves on. Wears gloves now. But watch this first throw today. He gets hit right there by Eric Barton. Watch him. See, anytime Kurt Warner, and anybody that's followed him when he was with the Giants, late in his career with the St. Louis Rams, when he starts grabbing that hand, it gets hit. It's led to a lot of ball security issues.
Meanwhile, the Jets back-to-back tough games against good offensive teams. 2nd down and 9, and open out of the backfield is Edgerrin James. James will have the first down as he gets into Jet territory to the 44-yard line, and a pickup of 16.
Okay, now, and you can see here, you just alluded to the ball. You can see in Kurt Warner's eyes. He doesn't want to make a big deal about it. He recognizes that everybody's talking about it, but it's on his mind. You can tell. Before the game, they're trying the gloves on and off. They're drying it off constantly and dealing with it. In fact, he's going to another higher level. But, Baldy, are you going over? Are you switching on us here? You giving him your vast perspective on how to handle that ball now?
Asking him if those gloves, is he going to get a commercial based on those gloves?
Yeah, I want to know if you're listed as quarterback coach on this team. First down on the Jet 44, and Warner gets hit again and completes the pass again, this time to Breston. And Breston picks up about 7 yards.
You know what? The dilemma for the Jet defense is this. If you've got sheer speed on the field, you can roll to it defensively and take it away. If you've got athleticism, quickness, you can bracket it. But when you've got the size that they represent with Fitzgerald and Bolden, I don't know how you really deal with that, and I'm not sure that they have the people to know how to do that.
The other factor is these guys are excellent after the catch. So you've got to tackle the catch, both Bolden and Fitzgerald.
The gain was 6, 2nd down and 4. And Edgerrin James stopped about a yard shy of the first down as he gets to the 34-yard line. The safety Kerry Rhodes coming in to make the play.
You know, these guys, the receivers they have on the outside, and you can see there's balance between them right now. It's hard to keep receivers happy, but Kurt Warner knows that these are the key to their success. They're great guys. They're great competitors. That's probably the thing that jumps out at you most about Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Boldin is the nature of how competitive they are on the field.
And right now, Coach, they're going with 2 tight ends. Leonard Pope is in there along with Ben Patrick. On 3rd down and 1, a power formation with Tim Hightower, the tailback. Here's Hightower, and he'll get the first down for the Cardinals to the 33.
Well, they keep the drive going here, Dick, and really this whole thing, I've never seen a team get more attention because what they did during the week. Ken Wisenhunt, when the schedule came out and he saw back-to-back games on the East Coast, in Washington last week, in New York here today, he said, we're going to stay on the East Coast. Now, it upset a lot of players. A lot of guys didn't like it. Kurt Warner was away from his family for 10 days. But they wanted to start faster. And this drive right here looks like a fast start.
First down at the 32. Bolden going in motion. And Warner was looking that way. And the pass high, overthrown to Larry Fitzgerald. As a coach, did you subscribe to when you went to the West Coast, spending 2 weeks out there?
Well, you go back and forth. You talk to people that have done it before. You know, is it harder to go from West Coast to East Coast to West Coast? My experiences are if you're a good football team, you'll win on the road. If you're not, you don't. So you try to do all that you can, but at the end of the day, we're going to find out if Arizona is good enough to win on the road.
Warner 3 for 4 for 38 yards, looking at 2nd down and 10.
There's Bolden and Fitzgerald in the circles.
Bobbled the snap a little off the line. Warner recovered and completes the pass to Anquan Bolden. And Bolden with a first down inside the 20, picking up 24 yards.
Now the Jets decide to play coverage. They dropped 8 guys back. Here, now you see Anquan Bolden just fighting through that double team. That's the strength that he has. you think, okay, most guys, you could knock them off stride there, Coach. But with his strength, you'll see him here fight through the double team. Kurt Warner a lot of time because of only a three-man rush. And I believe that's not the way to take on this talented passing attack.
This is the 10th play of the drive coming up. First and goal at the 8th. Edger and James back in there, and Warner on a fade trying to get it to Fitzgerald, and it was covered by Darrelle Revis, bringing up 2nd and goal.
Now, both these defenses do a lot of different things. And we saw this last week out of the Jets. They'll do a lot of stunts and games with their defensive front four when they're in a 4-man alignment, and they'll get into that 3-man rush. But we both talked about, with these experienced quarterbacks, giving the quarterback that much time on a 3-man rush, you've got to question how much of that you want to do, and Bob Sutton's got to think about that.
4 touchdowns and 7 possessions for the Cardinals when they were inside the 10-yard line. And on 2nd and goal, Warner with a lot of time, and the ball knocked away from Kurt Warner, and a scramble for the loose ball, and Edger and James seems to have recovered, and he did for the Cardinals back on the 32, but it was Sean Ellis who came through virtually untouched and forced the fumble.
Now, this has been the issue with Kurt Warner, going back to his greatest show on turf days in St. Louis. Watch where the ball's at. It's down at his side. It's away from him. And it's on tape for everybody to see. They've been working on it throughout the offseason to put 2 hands on that ball. Look how low the ball is right there. This is what has knocked Kurt Warner out of some starting lineup, ball security.
So a loss of 23 yards. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 32. And the Jets are hoping they can move the fans, Cardinals, out of field goal range. Warner goes to Bolden, and he loses the ball, and the Jets pick it up. And the Jets picking it up. Hank Poteet, who was re-signed this week, picks up the fumble, and the Jets get it back. As the Cardinal threat fizzles.
This is...
And the New York Jets, with terrific aggressiveness defensively, force Warner to fumble twice, but the second time the Jets recover and will have their first possession from the 43-yard line. And Thomas Jones, the running back. Contry going in motion. And Brett Favre going deep. Lavernius Coles down there, and the ball is knocked away. And going for the downs on the first play, Roderick Hood and Eric Green with great coverage downfield against Coles in the second possession for New York.
Now, the rookie Dwight Lowry that's having to start for the Jets does a great job of breaking down into the tackling position, getting his head on the ball, and knocking it out of Anquan Bolden.
We're talking about the fumble here. Well, this is the play right here. They get Lavernius Coles on Rod Hood. A little contact here in the back, but I guess not enough to get the flag out of their hands. But that's what Brett will do, challenge those safeties.
2nd and 10 at the 43. Brad Smith going in motion. And going the opposite way to Leon Washington. And Washington gets tripped up and is stopped just shy of the 47-yard line. Antonio Smith, and that'll be close to a first down, maybe missing by a half a yard.
Baldy, what surprises me is the fact that the Jets only carry 3 backs on their entire roster. They've got Thomas Jones and Leon Washington, and the third guy is the fullback, Tony Richardson, who really isn't a swing guy.
Well, they keep 4 quarterbacks on the roster, and they have 4 kickers. So they have to short themselves in another area, so they can't afford an injury at that position.
Jesse Chapman serving a 4-game NFL suspension, helping them being shorthand. And there is Favre, and it's picked off. Brett Favre's pass against the grain, picked off by O'Keefer. And Thomas Jones making the tackle as he catches up to Chike O'Keefer. So each side has committed a turnover and a 39-yard run by the linebacker for the Cardinals, and again they're in Jet territory.
Well, everybody in Arizona said to us yesterday, you got to be careful about the backside when Brett Favre has the ball, because he will come back there and use his arm. Favre thought that the Cardinals were offside and he had a free play. and he just kind of threw it up there. And Chike O'Keefer, who's one of those interchangeable parts of the Arizona's defense, got a gift.
Guess you can't assume it's a free play, Coach.
No, and when you play for Brett Favre, they have what's called the Favre rule. And that means everybody's up on every play for the entire play. And that's exactly what you're alluding to. Arizona really stressed that all week long.
So now the Cardinals have another chance. Coughed the ball up the last time. They were at first and goal at the 8. Now they have a first and 10 at the 16. Edger and James with a burst gets inside the 10. And the tackle by David Harris, one of the inside linebackers.
Let's go back to the interception here.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Brett Favre didn't see this jump and assumed that he was going to get a defensive offsides. I'm not sure he shouldn't have gotten it. So I'm sure he's thinking in his mind right now, I got a free play, Baldy.
Yeah, I mean, he sees Darnell Dockett right in front of him take off. And a lot of quarterbacks will be smart about it, going, it's a free play, I'll just take a shot. And it cost him.
Second down and 3 at the 9. James. And tackled almost immediately. So that will bring up a third down and goal.
This part of the field here, Dick, I mean, right now, Kurt Warner has been excellent in the first 3 games, finding the matchups, finding Larry Fitzgerald, on a fade route against a smaller defensive back. Anquan Bolden is great in traffic, and Kurt Warner has been protected well in this part of the field. Fitzgerald down here with their best corner, Darrelle Revis, on.
Tim Hightower is the back on third down and 2. Warner under pressure and tries to get it away, and it's an incomplete pass. So all of a sudden the pocket has broken down on Kurt Warner. That time Sean Ellis and Chris Jenkins, and a flag goes down.
Well, here's Steve Breston on the outside against the rookie Lowry. He's taken away. Here's Fitzgerald on Revis. Inside help. Maybe he could have thrown that up top. And here's Anquan Bolden.
Intentional grounding. Quarterback also lost it down. 4th down.
So Scott Green, and of course Warner just trying to get it away, threw it into actually nowhere. So 4th down coming up. So the Jets, after turning the ball over, guys, again stop the Cardinals deep in their own territory.
Well, we'll see how the game plays out. Right now, the Cardinals have dodged a couple of huge bullets. If they can obviously convert on this and get 3 points, they've got to feel fairly good about the start. But this is where they're going to be tested as a team. Kurt Warner in that veteran perspective, hey, don't let what's happened, the fumble, the intentional grounding, don't let that throw your game off.
Neil Rackers will attempt a 37-yard field goal. Has missed just once this year. And it's blocked. And the Cardinals want to fall on it. Loose ball at midfield. And the Jets are going to have it in great field position after the block kick. Neil Rackers' 37-yarder is blocked. And Mike Westhoff, one of the brilliant special teams coaches of all time in the NFL, the Jets will get it back. And there's Chris Jenkins, who blocked the kick. We'll take another look at it after the first play. Who was acquired from the Carolina Panthers in a trade, shoring up the middle of that line. And did he ever do that on that block kick? And the Jets on the Cardinal 49, first and 10, no score. And Brett Favre, who tried to go deep to Coles the first play, gives it to Thomas Jones, and Jones picking up 4 yards.
Let's go back to the block kick here, because here's Chris Jenkins right in the middle of the line. He's blocked 3 kicks in his career coming in. He takes the center. Nathan Hodel just knocks him right on his backside. Comes in clean. Maybe the kick was a little low, but Jenkins got in there and lifted the center up, and that was the result.
Cardinals 2 trips in the red zone, no points to show for it. Second down and 6 for Brett Favre. Here's Jones, and the Cardinals stop him in his tracks, picking up 1 yard on the play. And that'll be third down. No score as we wind down to 4 minutes to go in the first.
It's interesting to me that Arizona is playing a nickel against base people. New York has had their base people in there, meaning obviously 2 wideouts, a tight end, 2 backs. And to begin with, Arizona's had nickel personnel in there. There's something they obviously think that they see.
Well, they also interchange personnel so much. I mean, who's an end? Is Travis LeBoy here? Is he an end? Is he a linebacker? And they create a lot of confusion. That's part of the philosophy.
3-4 hybrid, they call it, for the Cardinals. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Favre has good protection and goes underneath and trying to prevent the first down. Thomas Jones driving for it. Had to get to the 39-yard line, and I don't think he did. And it was Gerald Hayes leading the charge, and it appears to be 4th and 1 coming up for the Jets.
Well, it's going to be a tough decision for Coach Mangini. It shouldn't be. He should probably punt the ball here, but he's thinking hard about, you know what, this thing's gone back and forth. I can maybe take emotional control of this game by going for this and converting.
Heck, they just went in the offseason, Coach. They brought Faneca, Damon Woody, they talked about it. Feed those guys right now. Let them go get the yard up front.
And 2 tight ends, 4th down, and the fullback in there with 1, and they give it to Thomas Jones. First down for the Jets. And Thomas Jones, who gained only 37 yards last week in the loss to San Diego. And the Jets keep the ball, move the chains as they get inside the 40.
Now, everybody talks about how are the New York Jets adjusting to Brett Favre. How is Brett Favre adjusting to the New York Jets? Last year, you can see an excellent example here. Last year, this is what the Jets were about. Move the tight end, double shift the receivers, put them back in motion. This is how they would typically open a game. What you're seeing now is a much more static look from the New York Jets, because that's what Brett Favre operates out of.
And an empty backfield, 4 wide receiver alignment, and Bubba Franks, the tight end, in the slot to the right. First down at the 38, and the pass is caught by Chris Baker. And Baker close to yet another first down, 9 yards. And Baker said, you know, we have the confidence. Brett Favre said, I hope this team does. And he goes to Baker, who said, look, there's nothing wrong. We've always wanted to win, even before you got here.
Well, Dick, this is what I think Brett Favre does best in this offense. Spread the other team out. Go 5 wide receivers and let him find the matchup that he likes. Because he can still see the field very well. He still has a great delivery. He can stick the throw. And I think that's how they can move the ball the best right now.
Minute 40 remaining in the first quarter. Still no score, but 2nd down and 1 for the Jets. And the pass out to Jericho Cotchery, and he'll get the first down before he's wheeled out of bounds by the cornerback Eric Green, and a gain of 3. Right now, let's check in with Laura Oakman.
Thanks, Dick. He may be a certain Hall of Famer, but Brett Favre told me it's not the drive that gets him, isn't the thrill of winning. It's more of the fear of failure. He said by coming to New York, he put more pressure on himself than he ever has. He told me every day I feel like I owe something to this team, to this organization, and it scares me.
And Favre completes the pass, and wide open is Bubba Franks, his former teammate with Green Bay, and getting close to the goal line. And Franks was wide open. And I guess with a lot of athletes, fear of failure is their great motivator.
Well, one of the great things Brett Favre does is play fake. He does so much of it. He does it so well. He over-exaggerates it. He under-exaggerates it. Just a little stab to the running back there, finding that alley in behind the linebacker level to the tight end.
And you got to believe that there's a comfort level with Bubba Franks. He only played with them for 8 years up in Green Bay.
First and goal. Favre's numbers so far through the interception, but the Jets weathered that. Thomas Jones trying to get in there, but Aaron Francisco, who was cut by the Jets in their training camp in 2005, throws Jones for a 1-yard loss.
Well, this is the part of the field that they bogged down 2 weeks ago here at home against the Patriots. Got the ball first down inside the 5, and they ran it 3 straight times, never allowing Brett Favre to put the ball in his hands to score the touchdown.
And there, Eric Mangini says, let's wait for the second quarter as they let the clock run down. The Jets, after blocking Neil Racker's kick, with a chance to take the lead when we come back. That is the end of the first quarter. No score between Arizona and New York.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And it'll nullify the touchdown. The holding penalty against the center, Nick Mangold. And what a crazy quilt first quarter we have had in this game, with the mistakes and turnovers and penalties at ill-opportune times.
Well, if Arizona can indeed turn this into just a 3-point deficit after all that's gone on, they've got to feel pretty good about it, because right now things have been stacked up against them.
There's Nick Mangold in the middle. He just finished the defensive tackle on his back right there. His hands were inside, but all the referee saw, the umpire that threw that flag, all he saw him was putting him on his back. Caught the end of the play.
Second and goal now from the 12. Leon Washington is the running back, and the quick toss, and it's knocked away, and a terrific defensive play made by Roderick Hood, the cornerback, on the pass intended for Coles.
Well, Rod Hood does an excellent job here of manning up Lavernius Coles, coming from backside right there in a perfect position to take the passing lane away. Lavernius Coles thought he had himself a touchdown.
And they brought a nickel blitz against Brett Favre. The corner knew that ball was going to have to come out quick, and that's exactly the way it worked.
There are the first quarter numbers, and turnovers, and of course the block kick resulting ultimately in the Jets threatening. Still no score. Third down and goal on the 10th play of this drive. Brett Favre stepping up, throws it, touchdown, and that's Lavernius Coles in the back of the end zone to give the Jets the lead. Finally, someone has taken advantage of a miscue to score in this one.
Well, this looks a lot like the play last week, the first touchdown they had against San Diego. Offensive line doing a great job. You've got to buy your quarterback some time with protection here, because that route runner on the very end, Lavernius Coles, has to run all the way along the back of the end line.
Jay Feely, the former Giant kicker, now kicking for the Jets, with Mike Nugent out with an injured thigh, giving the Jets a 7-0 lead early here in the second quarter. Brett Favre with his 7th touchdown pass of the season. 12-yard toss to Coles with his 2nd catch of the year, and Favre 5 for 6 for 53 yards. And he had a lot of 2nd and 1s during that drive, Baldy.
Well, they went for it on 4th down, and they converted, and all got the short field because of the block kick, and they were able to convert from it.
Well, right now the challenge for Arizona, clearly on the road, all the things we talked about. The Arizona Cardinals have passed, what they're trying to create of the Arizona Cardinals coming forward. Kent Wiesenhunt, this is what you get the big bucks for. You've got to convince this team. You almost have to will this team to convince them you're not the Arizona Cardinals of before. This is all about how we're going to go forward and how we're going to be a champion going forward.
And the question is, can the Cardinals finally become a contending team? Seattle has dominated the division. The Cardinals have an opportunity this time, Baldy.
The word they talk about in Arizona is culture. We got to change the losing culture, but it doesn't look like it's changed to this point early in this game.
Jay Feely will kick off for the Jets. Steve Breston will return for Arizona. And a short kick. Breston inside the 10. Gets tripped up and down he goes. And for the Jets, Wallace Wright slowed him down. A 16-yard return. And Kurt Warner comes back on the field for the Cardinals, trailing 7-0. 22 seconds into the second quarter. Dick Stockton along with Brian Baldinger, Baldy, and the coach, Brian Billick. And let's see how Kurt Warner and the Cardinals, with their sharp offense, respond after falling behind 7-0. They'll have a first down at the 24. Drew Coleman, number 30, is in as a nickel back for the Jets, going with 5 defensive backs on first down. Edgerrin James, and James dives forward for a couple of yards. Let's recap what has been a wild game so far in this contest. And there's a fumble as Bolden loses it. Poteet recovered, and then Chicky Okifor on the return. Cardinals, you'd seen, would have a lot of chances, but they didn't score there. But the Jets ended up with the touchdown after the blocked field goal by Chris Jenkins. And here's Edgerrin James. No gain on the play, brings up third down and long And right now for a game break, let's check in for the first time today with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
All right, guys, Atlanta and Carolina, and that's Jonathan Stewart, the rookie. Third straight game that he's run for a touchdown. That one puts Carolina in front. It's 7-3 in the first quarter. That's Nick and the Killer Bees.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt. And lining up with the no huddle of the Cardinals, looking at 3rd down and 8. Empty backfield for Kurt Warner. Not much of a pass rush by the Jets, and the pass is picked off by Darrelle Revis, and he'll walk it in for the touchdown. "32-yard return on the pick."
Well, they only rushed 2 guys here. Sean Ellis, along with Chris Jenkins. They dropped 9 guys into coverage here. Got 5 guys up there blocking 2. Now Kurt knows he's got a lot of time right here, and he just stared down the receiver on the outside. Darrelle Revis, a crafty veteran in only his 2nd year, jumped that route. And you got to wonder what's going on inside Kurt Warner's mind early in this game right here, Coach.
Jay Feely for the extra point, trying to give the Jets a 14-0 lead, and he does. So Kurt Warner throwing the interception, and Revis with his 2nd interception of the year, but this one he takes in for the score. Well, at this point, after a slow start, the Jets are playing like Titans, and Eric Mangini's team has a 14-0 lead, getting a defensive score. Now these are takeaways, and the Jets with 2, resulting in 7 points. Arizona has 1 and could not convert. They had a couple of golden chances in the first quarter. Jay Feely kicking. Steve Reston from the 5. And Reston stopped short of the 30-yard line, where Kurt Warner again comes out. This time, his team trailing by 14 points. And welcome back to the Meadowlands, where the Jets have taken a 14-0 lead over the Arizona Cardinals. So the Cardinals, who lost to the Redskins in a tough game last week in the 4th quarter, spending the week in Vienna, Virginia, not flying home, hoping it'll help him in another road game on the East, falling behind early here. First down for Warner, and a handoff to Tim Hightower. And Hightower tackled by Eric Barton for a gain of 1.
We've got to go back to this interception. They dropped 9 guys into coverage. And you're going to see here as we get into the play, when you drop 9 guys, the more you're holding the ball, the more bad things can happen. You get into a false sense of, I got all the time I need. They got 9 guys deep. He obviously lost vision on Darrelle Revis as he comes all the way back across the field to make this throw.
So again, a 2nd and long. Kurt Warner is operating with long yardage to go, and the handoff is to Hightower. Hightower, the 5th-round pick out of Richmond, stopped by David Harris, and about 3 yards shy of the first down. Taking a look at the Cardinals on offense, Warner is 5 for 9, but that interception cost him. Edger and James, not much. Neither team has run the ball well yet, and Bolden has averaged 13 yards a catch.
It's a big play here for Arizona, obviously. 3rd down, they haven't done a good job of holding on to the ball, finishing drives. They have to hold on to this ball and not allow this game to get away from them so early in the game.
3 and out would be a bad situation here, Baldy. You're right. They need 3 yards. And here comes the pressure on Kurt Warner on 3rd down. Picked up well, and the pass is complete to Steve Reston, and gets the first down into Jet territory at the 49. They picked up the pressure and a 17-yard gain, with Rhodes ultimately making the tackle.
Now, Baldy, isn't this exactly what Ken Wiesenhunt was talking about as to why he went with the Kurt Warner? That he had the veteran experience because of these situations to not get rattled and be able to fight his way back.
Well, yeah, and, you know, this job was won last year, I believe. But the guy that has been rattled so far in this game has been Kurt Warner. I mean, he's the one right now not playing with great poise.
And here's Hightower, and Hightower picking up a couple, and it was Warner who threw 27 touchdown passes last year, guys. Replaced Matt Leinart, who came out with the broken collarbone in the 5th game. So it was his team last year at the end.
Well, it was, and that's what fueled this whole offseason. I mean, I thought Ken Wiesenhunt did a good job of not turning this thing into a quarterback competition. I mean, they wanted Matt Leinart to get the job. They gave him the opportunity, but not without daily competition from Kurt Warner. And at the end, they thought Kurt Warner was the better choice.
2nd down and 9. Cardinals trying to get back in this game. They send Baldinger out to the right. And the screen to Baldinger. And the Jets go right through it. And it's the rookie Dwight Lowry starting today for Justin Miller, inactive, and a 1-yard gain. A very aggressive and alert Jet defense thus far.
Now, it's not like Kurt Warner doesn't have his demons. You know, he's had a spectacular career. But because of the injuries, because of the fumbles, because he's had a number of teams say, you know what, your services are no longer required, that does affect you. He's a very strong individual mentally, but that's got to be weighing on his mind right now at 38 years of age.
Now, weighing on the Jets is the fact that Sean Ellis, their defensive end, goes limping off the field. So Ellis shaken up. And a tough assignment for Bob Sutton, who puts in David Bowens in his place. It'll be 3rd down and 8 at the 47. And the safety blitz, the pass off the hands of Jeremy Urban, who was open. He was shy of the sticks, but he was wide open, and Kerry Rhodes put on the pressure coming in from the safety position.
Well, here comes Hank Poteet. Kurt Warner knows he has to get rid of it. He does. He throws it to his hot receiver, Urban, here, who's got to make that catch. Kurt sees the blitz. He runs away from it, tries to buy himself just an extra second of time. Found the open receiver, not the guy he wanted to throw it to.
And Rhodes got to him as he got rid of it. So it's 4th down, and Dirk Johnson will kick for the Cardinals. Leon Washington inside the 10. And Washington brings it out to the 17-yard line. Tim Castile on the tackle. 9-yard return. 14-0. Jets lead. Cardinals trying to figure it out. They come in with a strong offense, but they have nothing to show, and they've been in the red zone twice so far.
Golden opportunities, and they don't come on the road very often, and they foiled 2 of them. And now they haven't done a good job of sustaining offense. Give credit to the Jets on a lot of what they're doing.
Jets starting from the 17. On the screen pass, Thomas Jones has a blocker. More than one. 1st down. And Thomas Jones brings it out to the 36-yard line. Good block by Alan Faneca. And I'll tell you what, after the short week, the Jets look very sharp on both sides of the ball at this point.
Well, all the attention was given to the Cardinals staying on the East Coast, but the Jets on Monday night didn't arrive back here until Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock. And the head coach, Eric Mangini, said, let's have a practice at 4 today. Did set well with the players, but it looks like they've got their legs back.
And it got them back into a rhythm. It was a smart thing to do coming from the West Coast back to the East Coast to get them back in that rhythm.
And Brett Favre, of course, with the injured ankle and all, looked a little discolored when we saw it on Friday. 1st down at the 36. And on the end around, it's Brad Smith. And Brad Smith gets by one defender with a pretty good juke and finds himself in Cardinal territory at the 46. Antrell Roll, the 3 safety, missed the tackle, and Smith ends up with 18 yards.
Brian Schottenheimer's got a nice flow going to his play calling right now. He's used Brett in terms of play action, throwing outside, throwing inside, put the ball inside. Now he's got a little reverse. He's got, I think, Arizona on their heels just a little bit, wanting to figure out what's coming next.
Well, they could do a much better job of stopping Brad Smith if they would make the tackle where they should have made the tackle. This team misses a lot of open field tackles.
Jets with a 1st down on the Cardinal 47, and this becomes a critical defensive sequence for Arizona. Hand off to Leon Washington, off left tackle, good second effort, 1st down. You see the value of Leon Washington, jack of all trades. Higgins finally gets him, but not before. He picks up the 1st down at the 34, a pickup of 13.
Well, this is a guy they clearly want to feature more in the offense because Eric Mangini loves him. Look how low he is, always going forward, and he's a guy that loves to practice. He was their team MVP a year ago. and can hurt any defense or special teams in so many different ways.
And he's a great changeup to obviously to Thomas Jones, a different kind of bat, so it's a good 1-2 punch.
Jones back in there. First down at the 34. 19, 17, and 13 yards on this drive. And then here's a wide open receiver going in. Coles for his second touchdown. And an injured Cardinal back on the 29-yard line as Brett Favre has thrown his second touchdown pass to Lavernius Coles, and Eric Green is hurt. 34-yard pass, and Coles could not have been more wide open.
This is a no-mercy league. And if there's one thing Brett Favre can do in any offense is find a wide-open receiver.
And obviously the man who was assigned to defend Coles on that play, all he had to do is catch it and walk in.
Well, we had a double play fake by Brett Favre. He pumped like he was going to a quick hitch, then play fake to the back, then came back out of it. We can't see what exactly happened on the outside. You can see the defender down, and Lavernius Coles is standing all by himself in the end zone.
Not much you can do about that if you're the Cardinals. So Favre and Coles, and you remember it was Lavernius Coles who was loyal to Pennington, who went to Miami. I think Favre and Coles appear to be on the same page. So Kurt Warner now sees his team down by 20, and of course the extra point coming up after the timeout for the injury to Eric Green, and Jay Feely aboard to try the extra point. So Brett Favre and Green on his feet over on the Cardinals sideline. And the Jets now lead it 21-0.
Now, Brett Favre is older than his head coach, his offensive coordinator, and this is Brian Daboll. He's the quarterback coach for the Jets. He's been a quarterback coach for 2 years. Now, the question I'm asking is, and I'm sure he's an outstanding coach, but when Brett Favre, Hall of Famer Brett Favre, comes off the sideline, and you've been a quarterback coach for 2 years, Baldy, what do you say to that guy? You whip your pencil out and say, hey, Brett, this is how I see it?
No, what'd you say? It's nice job. Way to find the open man right there. I mean, you're doing your job at that point. No, there's a chain of command right there. And I think one thing Brett Favre has always done, because he's had Darrell Bevel, who was younger than him in Green Bay, and he's always given credit to those guys that work with him.
Well, tonight on Fox, don't miss the outrageous season premiere of Family Guy. Animation Domination is back, and all new tonight with the Family Guy season premiere starting at 9, 8 Central, right here only on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. You like those cartoons, huh, Coach?
I actually like Family Guy. I was introduced to them not too long ago, and my youngest daughter, and I really do enjoy them.
Scoring drive as Favre with his second touchdown pass today, both to Coles, who's never had 3 touchdown catches in the same game. We'll see. Steve Preston returning for the Cardinals. Takes a while to bring Preston down, and he goes down after the 18-yard return to the 19-yard line as a couple of the players get tangled up. 7:08 remaining in the first half, and the Jets feeling good about themselves, leading 21-0.
That's Lavernius Coles, and we spoke with him on Friday out at the Jets' new facility in Florham Park, and every day he's in pain. This is a guy that has injuries to his toe, the sesamoid bones, and he's a guy that every day has got to wear open-toe shoes to relieve the pressure on the toe, and it's never going to go away, so he's got to play with it.
First down at the 24, and Warner's backed up, and there's another interception. Eric Smith picks it up. So Kurt Warner, who was knocked back, flips it right into the hands of safety Eric Smith, and he brings it back 7 yards, and the Jets again threatening inside the 20.
Well, this is just a disaster for Arizona here. Now, give credit to the Jets. They've applied pressure here. You can see that the center got run right back by Chris Jenkins, right into the lap of Warner, affected that throw, and this thing is going bad to worse. That was Chris Jenkins who collapsed the pocket and knocked the center line right back into his lap.
So 2 interceptions and a fumble, 3 turnovers by the Cardinals. And for a team that really has a poor record in their trips east, trying to change that today. And the Jets on the verge of extending their lead. Leon Washington, the running back, got a first down at the 19. Washington with the call. And he gets close to the 15. Travis LeBoy wraps him up.
Well, you know, Ken Wiesenhunt has something to think about now. I mean, it's you want to bail on your quarterback. You don't want to panic. But obviously the way this is going, Kurt Warner is unsettled right now. The difficulty is if you decide to go to that change, and I don't know that this is the time to do it, I don't know that you can go back. I don't know that you're not just giving this football team to line up.
Second down and 6 from the 15. Hand off to Washington. And Washington will be a yard shy. Gets 5 yards, so Kiefer on the stop.
And I think this is a carryover effect to the defense as well. We've seen some strange things happen to the Cardinals on defense. Eric Green falls down on a play. His knee locks on him. Lavernius Cole's wide open. Favre takes advantage of it. But when Kurt Warner is the leader of your team and you're an offensive-minded team, I think it affects the defense right now, and they're constantly being put in this bad situation.
3rd down and 1. Thomas Jones with Tony Richardson, the fullback, in front of him. And they go to Jones, and Richardson with the block and a first down inside the 10. 1st and goal coming up for the Jets. We had a lot of rain earlier. The rain has stopped. It's been overcast. And what do we have when it's bad weather?
Well, and I don't know, with some of the things we're seeing, I don't know that you can blame on the weather. The field, this is a turf field that drains very readily. I don't think the ball's wet. I just think there's a lot of hard hitting going out there, and there's some mistakes being played. I don't know that you can attribute it to the weather.
And a lot of carelessness. And you're right about that. The rain did stop early on. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. 1st and goal at the 8. And here is Washington. And this time the Cardinals storm in, and a flag goes down. And a big pile up there at the 11-yard line, led by Darnell Dockett, number 90. And Dansby also in at the bottom of that pile. Scott Green will explain the call.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, number 90, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, there's only one kind of face mask right now. That actually, all we got was the jersey. He never actually grabbed the face mask.
No, that never did. It looked like the way he got turned, I'm sure the official saw the turn because he obviously didn't see actually the hand on the face mask.
Never got to the face mask.
And as you were pointing out, Baldy, they no longer have that 5-yard incidental face mask call. So it'll be 1st and goal following the penalty at the 5 for the Jets. Already in front, 21-0. Here's Leon Washington, and he is ganged up on at the 4.
Antonio Smith, Travis LeBoy arguing about the last call still. You're going to see, there's the jersey. He's grabbing Leon Washington's jersey there. Never grabs the face mask. And all they see is just his head turn around. Leon Washington's so small, they probably couldn't see all the way through. So, bad call on Darnell Dockett on that last play that allowed the Jets to get the first down.
And no one knows better than Dockett that he did not have that face mask. 2nd down and goal. And there's Favre. Fires. And Coles has it knocked away. And a good defensive play by Roderick Hood. Otherwise, Coles would have had his 3rd touchdown catch in the first half.
Now, this was the exact same kind of throw that he scored on previously. Brett has the time to wait it out, and just looking for that end line throw. Actually, the defensive back looks like he maybe just got his hand in there or would have been striking up the band again.
I don't know. I think Lavernius Cole should have had a hat trick right there. That ball looked like it got through clean, and he doesn't drop many of those, and Brett hummed that one. That one got there in a hurry.
3rd down and goal. Putting the pressure on Favre, drills it, incomplete. And it was intended for Chancey Stuckey, who's become kind of a favorite early receiver for Brett Favre. 4th down coming up, and the Jets will try to settle for the field goal.
Now, I'll play the offended coach role right now because, as you said 2 weeks ago, they ran it 3 straight times and didn't get it in, and everybody came out howling, and you got Brett Favre, why don't you do that? And now you take a couple shots and you're going for a field goal.
So there.
At the end of the day, if it works, you did right. If it doesn't, you're wrong.
Now, I thought Brett did his job getting the ball to the back of the end zone line to Lavernius Cole.
22-yard attempt for Jay Feely. And the kick is no good as he hooked it. Flag is down, however, at the... Let's see if Feely getting up was hit.
Running into the kicker. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Still 4th.
So it's not an automatic first down because it wasn't roughing the kicker, running into the kicker right here.
The Arizona Cardinals cannot do more things wrong in this first half than they have. I mean, Rogers Cromartie there is a rookie. That's a rookie mistake.
What I don't understand is why you have to kick this again. You don't get the first down. You can decline that because you converted, I'm assuming.
No, he didn't. He hooked it. The kick was no
he
good.
Missed it. Okay, obviously I got to pay attention a little bit better. By all means, give me the chance to kick this again.
So you need another guy in your staff to be able to tell you that.
You could tell. I was ready to just jump on the official. I didn't even know what happened to the play.
That's exactly
I was just going to get into my old motive. Let me go dog cuss somebody.
You're wearing a headset, so somebody's talking to you. Eric Mangini now in the field goal attempt by Feely, a 20-yarder, and it is good. So after all is said and done, the Jets have extended their lead to 24-0 with 3:32 remaining in the first half. 24-0. The Jets lead the Cardinals with about 3.5 to go in the second quarter. The Jet fans here in the Meadowlands elated. And if you look at the 8-play, 17-yard drive capped by Feely's 20-yard field goal, I mean, the Jets have looked sharp, but the Cardinals have made turnovers. They've had mental mistakes, a block kick, failure to execute, putting themselves in a huge first-half hole. Steve Preston on the return, and he is tripped up as he gets beyond the 25-yard line. 23-yard return for Preston. Coming up, what's more traditional in the NFC than Redskins and Cowboys? Coming up next, the second half of our Fox NFL doubleheader.
Boy, every one of these NFC East battles now is going to be a Donnybrook. I don't care if it's Philadelphia, Washington, Philadelphia, New York, Philadelphia. In this instance, obviously, you're talking about the Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. I grew up watching these matchups, man. This ought to be a good one.
And in a division where nobody has a losing record.
That says it all. 3:27 remaining in the first half, and the quick pass on the slant, and it's caught by Ben Patrick, and the tight end getting the first down with an 11-yard pickup. So Jason Campbell, who had 2 touchdowns the last time they played in Dallas, Santana Moss with a big game, Tony Romo with 4 TD passes, and Terrell Owens going over 100 yards and a score. So all those stars in action.
Not enough room on the page to list all of the Cowboy stars. They've got a bunch of them, including that whole offensive line.
First down at the 37 for the Cardinals. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Cardinals have shown very little, and again they go underneath to Terrell Smith. And Smith will find himself 4 yards short of the first down.
Just looking at that play, Coach, I mean, right now the Jets can afford to play coverage. I mean, you see here, there's only 3 pass rushers. The Cardinals got all these guys in here blocking. They're going to take Anquan Bolden in motion there, Larry Fitzgerald away. It's just a mush rush. Just keep Kurt Warner back and make him check it down. Nothing deep. Don't allow him to get anything easy at this point.
And the Jets, wary of Warner's abilities that way, have a nickel, 5 defensive backs in there. Second down and 4. Here comes pressure. Warner didn't see it. Loses the ball. And the Jets recover. David Harris recovers for the Jets as Kurt Warner, who had not fumbled in the first 3 games of the season, coughs it up here. It was Calvin Pace who knocked it away, and recovered by the Jets as we get down to the 2-minute warning, and things couldn't get any worse for Kurt Warner and the Arizona Cardinals. We'll be back in just a moment. How satisfying this has to be for Calvin Pace, who played 5 years with the Arizona Cardinals, frustrated, signing with the Jets and forcing a fumble. It is the 4th turnover of the game. All 4 turnovers have come on passing plays, oddly enough. 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, and now the Jets in business again with a first down on the Arizona 40. Favre on the screen to Washington. And picks up a couple, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Minimal gain.
Let's go back to the last fumble by Kurt Warner. Here's Calvin Pace working one-on-one here with Levi Brown. And Kurt is looking away from it, but look where the ball is. It's down at his waist there. He almost lost his left tackle, Wayne Gandy, on the same play. This is why Arizona wants to run the ball more than they throw it, because they're worried about those things creeping back into Kurt Warner's game.
Loss of 1. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, the first draft pick out of Tennessee State, has replaced Eric Green, who was hurt. And there's the shuffle pass to Leon Washington, and it's picked up, and they're going to rule that the play is down as an incomplete pass on the shovel pass. So,
well, the fans have got to understand that's an incomplete pass. It was a little shuffle pass. You hear it all the time. You see it all the time. It's not a fumble. It's an incomplete pass.
And you see it from Favre all the time.
Yeah,
right?
it's a favorite of theirs, obviously, that they're trying to integrate into the system as well. Brett knew exactly what he was doing. It's a safe throw. It's just an incomplete pass.
This is one of the reasons why they do that, too. It's like feast or famine on that type of play. Get the defensive line sucked up coming after it and then just counterpunch it underneath to him. But it is a forward pass.
3rd down and 11. 1:11 remaining in the first half. Jets have played almost this entire first half in Cardinal territory, it seems. Favre stepping up down the middle. And a great catch by Lavernius Coles at the 21 on a bullet throw by Brett Favre, 23 yards, and a first down at the 22. And let's see if the Jets call a timeout. They will. Each team has all 3 timeouts remaining. Well, the Cardinals did not go home after last week's game in Washington. Instead, they stayed in Virginia all week and stayed in a hotel in Vienna, Virginia. Right now, it's backfired, you'd have to say. They had a locker room set up in the ballroom, and of course the usual meeting rooms. And there were mixed feelings as to whether the team, should spend their week away from home. They dressed in the hotel and got on the buses and went to practice and played at Catholic University. And, it's great if you win, and I guess if you don't win, it wasn't a good idea.
Well, the interesting thing was that even though some did like it, some didn't, they all mentioned it was good to get out of the heat of Arizona. And so that was kind of a uniform sentiment. But right now, obviously, they're not seeing the results they were hoping for.
Jets with 2 timeouts remaining. They're on the Cardinal 22. First down and Favre getting some pressure. Nowhere to go, and he goes down at the 24. O'Keefer, who has an interception, now has a sack. He loses 2.
Now, we've talked about Kurt Warner and the difficulty holding on to the ball, and we're talking about the glove that Kurt Warner has gone to. Here, Brett's kind of limping off just a little bit. That may have something to do with the ankle that he had coming into the game with. But again, I don't imagine Brett Favre's going to take himself out in this situation.
No. No.
But we were talking about Kurt Warner and the glove. Brett Favre doesn't wear a glove. Now, you've got to see this, and I'm not sure I really appreciate this till we sat there with Brett the other day. He's got the longest fingers of any human being I've ever seen, and he just envelops this ball.
Well, he can actually put both hands around the fat part of the ball. Now, the weird thing is his toes are as long as his fingers.
Well, that's a whole other subject.
Now, well, it is another subject, but when we talked to him on Friday, I'm looking at his ankle, and there's an egg there from the swelling from Monday night. He's more interested in saying, my jokes here in New York are working. They didn't work anymore in Green Bay after 16 years.
Well, we have a little anatomy analysis and a little,
more about Brett than
Brett Favre's sense of humor, more than people wanted to know, maybe. Under a minute to go, 2nd down and 12 after the second timeout. Here's Washington on the reception, and he stopped at the 21. Matt Ware on the tackle. So they get 4 yards there, and we're winding down to 40 seconds remaining, and the Jets lining up without the huddle on 3rd down. Jets with 1 timeout remaining. 3rd and 8. Half a minute to go in the first half. It's been all Jets. Here's Favre, and it's caught by Coles as he goes out of bounds at the 5. Favorite receiver? No question about it in this half. And it'll be 1st and goal coming up on the Visa halftime report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker has up to the second scores and stats. So Coles with 4 catches for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns, and it'll be 1st and goal at the 5.
He's out wide here on this play.
Backing up, pump fake, being chased and throwing out of the end zone, and Favre could see the defender coming up, but there's a flag down, penalty marker, and is it holding? That's what Favre wants to know on the defense. Let's see. Scott Green.
Holding. Defense. Number 20. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
Ralph Brown, and it's a 1st down for the Jets.
You know, with Brett Favre limping off, and obviously he maybe tweaked that ankle just a little bit. Someone asked him about, did he think it was going to affect his play? And his response was, you know what? My fundamentals are so terrible. I've never been fundamentally sound. So the ankle, how bad can it throw it off? So that's kind of the mentality he plays with.
And if you're an offensive lineman, get Chike O'Keefe off his ankle. I mean, somebody come in and rescue him. He shouldn't have to pick up the defensive end himself to get the foot free.
And Leon Washington gets a word from Favre. 1st and goal, and there's a fade pattern, and Coles has it for the touchdown. First time in his career, Lavernius Coles has caught 3 TDs in the same game, and he does it in the first half.
Now, this is exactly what we're talking about, getting used to the people around you. Brett Favre puts the ball exactly where it needs to be. He's trusting Lavernius Coles to be where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there, and he was.
And Jay Feely is on aboard again, and the Jets, with this extra point, would set a new team record for most points in a quarter. And it's 31, and that's what they have, although there's a flag down at the goal line. So a penalty marker down with 10 seconds to go in the half. This has been...
I saw that one.
delightful.
That one went through. I'm on top of it now. I'm ready for this call. I missed the first one. I'm ready for whatever they come up with because he made that one.
Personal foul. Leverage. Number 93. Kick is good. It'll be enforced on the kickoff.
Can't lose a player to jump up. The extra point good. 31-0. And let's check in now with Laura Oakman.
Well, you guys, Lavernius Coles may look like a big-time wide receiver today, but he certainly doesn't act like one. I asked him about the first 3 games. He wasn't a big factor. I said, how frustrated are you? Are you getting the ear of your new quarterback? And he said, absolutely not. Favre has enough on his plate right now, learning the new offense. I'm not going to be that wide receiver, the one that's whining to him all the time, saying, get the ball to me. He's the anti-wide receiver. Am I right?
Well, all I want to know, I'm going to ask Baldy, who's been on the field, is it natural for a receiver who's had, had Pennington as his guy for so many years to remain loyal and say, why the change when he first gets there?
I think that was the initial reaction, but then you have to go forward. He was upset when Chad was traded. He had a great deal of success, great deal of loyalty to Chad Pennington. But, picking up on what Laura said, Dick, the anti-wide receiver, he's not a diva. And he said the most important thing, let Brett get comfortable. We'll work on the timing on the field. They have found it today. Your question coming in today, Coach, was when will it click for Brett in this offense? Right now, there seems to be a great deal of confidence between these two guys.
Well, and that last play showed it. I love the way Lavernius verbalized it the other day. He said just what you said. He's still learning the offense. I don't want to pull on Brett Favre too much right now. And that's exactly right. Pulling away from his focus on learning the offense.
So the Jets have asked for anything better than a 31-0 halftime lead, touchback with 10 seconds remaining. So if you want to know whether Favre and Coles are together. How about the ball given to Favre? 3 touchdown passes for number 4, 3 TD receptions for number 87.
That's Lavernius Cole's way of welcoming Brett to this offense right here. You know, I'm glad you're here. The loyalty has now been changed to Brett and the Jets.
Yeah, and now with the way they're playing today, he might start pulling on a little bit more. He said he was going to hold on.
He's got an opening now, doesn't he?
Now he can start pulling.
And as great as it's been for Favre and company, how miserable a first half it has been for Kurt Warner and the Cardinals. Have to go back to the drawing board. Down 31, and the ball is tipped away from behind, and a loose ball, and the Jets have it as the clock stops with 2 seconds. And would you believe it, the Jets will have another opportunity on another turnover by the Cardinals, their 5th of the first half.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame. That was the weather, the ball security, all the things that we've talked about. Kurt Warner 2 games ago against the Miami Dolphins had the perfect game.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine him having a worse game than what we've seen right here.
Every demon that Kurt Warner has had over the last 7 or 8 years has come out here today. This was just really lack of attention right here. It's a 3-man rush. He's way too cavalier with the football there, and he gives the Jets another scoring opportunity.
And so David Bowens with the 3rd sack of the game. And now with 2 seconds remaining, Jay Feely can add 3 more points. I mean, this is as low as you can get for the Arizona Cardinals. An incredible mistake-filled first half. Jets take advantage of it. And here's Feely's 30-yard field goal attempt. It is good, and it's 34-0 as time expires. That's the end of the first half. The Jets 34, Cardinals nothing. Fox NFL Sunday continues with the Visa halftime report after these. Back at the Meadowlands, the Jets lead the Cardinals 34-0. And as we know, of course, by now, the Cardinals spent the week in the D.C. area getting ready for this game. Hasn't worked out for them so far, the plan, but some good things did happen, as we find out from Laura.
Some very good things. The highlight for all of these players was when they went to Walter Reed Hospital. Now, Kurt Warner was asked by a 21-year-old soldier, will you come outside, play some catch with me? So Kurt did. They went out, they're throwing the ball, and when the soldier went to make a catch, his leg came off. His prosthetic leg fell off. But hold on, before Kurt could be mortified, this kid started screaming to everybody, Kurt Warner broke my leg! Kurt Warner broke my leg! And the best part, because it does get better, he also had Kurt sign it, which is my favorite autograph story I've ever heard, guys.
That's a great story, Laura, and it shows that the players did more than just get ready for a football game during that week.
You know, it's always my experience that when you take a pro football player and you put them in an environment like that, they immediately respond knowing for the grace of God, and they probably have as much or more empathy for people in that situation because of the gifts that they have than anybody.
Well, they get humbled real quick, and the Cardinals were humbled in that second quarter. The 5 turnovers leading to 20 points, 20 of the 34 points that the Jets put up in that second quarter. And it's one of those things, Coach, you come out of the locker room down 34-0. What's the message here?
Oh, boy, hang on, guys, because we got to play the second half. You're going to define yourself as a team, as odd as it sounds, down 34-0 by the way you conduct yourself in this second half. And that's exactly what Ken Wiesenhuis is looking for right now, is to see how this team's going to respond to this adverse situation.
Jay Feely gets the second half underway. Steve Breston on the return for the Cardinals. And that's where the Cardinals and Kurt Warner will start as we get set. So 34-0. Now, if you're the Jets, let me ask you, how does Brett Favre play it in the second half, and how far does he go?
Well, with that ankle, you're in control of the game. What do you want to get done? How many times do you want Brett Favre to throw? What kind of game do you want to conduct? It's a legitimate question as to the approach they want to take.
And, you know, he's still getting a feel for this offense and the guys around him. Obviously, a great first half with Lavernius Coles. New timing with him, new developments there. How much is it the Jets? How much is it the Cardinals playing into their hands?
From the 21, Warner trying to find a receiver, and it's knocked away. And it was intended for Steve Breston, and it was Dwight Lowry, the rookie. And a flag is down. And will have a pass interference call against the Jets. That's the preliminary signal.
Interference, defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Now, I don't know that he needed to do this. As you see Lowry come in, you can put your hand on him, but did you alter his course? Did you tweak him a little bit? And that's what they're going to call that little twist right there. It wasn't a lot. He could have scraped the hand along his back and gotten away with it. That's just a young rookie mistake that he didn't need that last little twist.
So 21 yards on the penalty, and it brings it up to the 42. Safety blitz, and Preston on the reception will have a first down into Jet territory, picking up 11.
Now we talk about Kurt Warner and what kind of mental state he is in right now. I tell you, the group that hates this situation the most is the offensive line, because you know you're going to get nothing but ears pinned back by the Jets. Guys smell blood in the water. They want their sack totals up, and so it is a difficult assignment up front.
First down, and Preston again, and this time the pass was on the mark, but Dwight Lowry was there as well, so it'll be second down.
And along that line, we heard yesterday the receivers, Anquan Bolden in particular, talk about how they liked the way Kurt Warner didn't expose them to injury or took care of them. He's got to take care of his offensive line. He's got to get the ball out quickly. He can't hold it. He has to recognize that they're under siege right now.
Shorter routes will help do that right now with the safeties this far back.
Second down and 10. Warner has time, and it's caught by Fitzgerald, and Larry Fitzgerald steps out of bounds. Flag comes down from upfield. It would appear to be a first down, and then the flag came in, and Drew Coleman, the nickel back, defending.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Number 30, defense. 15 yards from the end of the play. First down.
So we've already had a pass interference penalty and a personal foul against the Jets in this series.
Well, you know, we talk about the Cardinals. What's their mental state? That's a late hit by Drew Coleman. It's a good call, out of bounds. Well, you know, the right flag, but they're helping the Cardinals here. All the Cardinals want to do on this drive, get points. Just get something going and try to build on it.
With a 34-0 lead, why?
Well, exactly right. You just got to know where you are in the field.
Warner on the out, Preston. And Preston gets hit hard but holds onto it. And it's Dwight Lowry providing the hit. 9-yard pickup to about the 11.5-yard line.
Now, New York's definitely gotten passive here. There's no question about that. And there's some legitimacy for that. Obviously, you don't want to give up the big play, but they've little played you all the way down the field. At some point, they might want to get back into that aggressive package they've been running in the first half.
Second down and 1. They'll give it to Edgerrin James inside the 10, inside the 5, and first and goal coming up. Preston with 4 catches on this drive, and James brought down by Harris. First and goal, and the Cardinals on the brink of getting their first points.
Well, you got to keep them a little bit honest, and if you're going to have a defensive line that wants to come after Kurt Warner and try to pad sack totals here, that's the perfect counter play. That draw to Edgerrin James, and it puts him inside the 5 here on this opening drive of the third quarter.
Cardinals have not really had a breakout running game, and they certainly don't seem to have one when they're down 34-0. That's the way it's worked out. First and goal as they spread out the Jets defense. And they hand off to James, who goes in for the touchdown. So a nifty drive with Preston catching 4 passes and James running the last 2 plays, including this 4-yard touchdown, and Arizona finally scores.
Well, the Jets only have one guy with their hand on the ground, and it's their backup nose tackle, C.J. Mosley. This was the easiest touchdown run that Edgerrin James could imagine. I mean, they were in a nickel defense, not the right defense down on the goal line.
Well, they only had 10 guys on the field, if I'm not mistaken. This is a perfect opportunity for Eric Mangini, up by this amount, to still go off on your players and say, guys, this is not the way a good football team plays.
Neil Rackers, who had a field goal blocked, makes the extra point. So Edgerrin James with his first touchdown of the season, and the Cardinals score on their first series of the second half. Well, the Cardinals score a touchdown in less than 3 minutes. So it's 34-7 as Rackers gets set to kick off. And disappointing, would you say, the Jets' defense in that first series?
Yeah, Eric Mangini can't be happy with it, and he's got to use that opportunity to make that teaching point to them.
There was the scoring drive. 6 plays, 79 yards. Leon Washington on the return, cutting upfield and gets to the 26-yard line. We'll take a break. Brett Favre will come out for the second half. He's thrown 3 scores already. The Jets set for their first possession of the second half after the Cardinals went down and scored. They'll begin from the 26. Eric Green, who came out with an injury and resulted in an easy touchdown catch by Coles in the first half, is back in at cornerback. First down at the 26. Favre looking one way, completes to Bubba Franks. And Franks gets about 7.
Well, you know, both these quarterbacks are going to see a lot of pressure. And the fact that they're going to have to deal with the pressure, because both defenses are very much aggressive defenses, and which is great risk, great reward kind of possibility. And both subscribe to the Buddy Ryan theory that don't get nervous because somebody's band's going to play at the end of this play.
Well, you like to send one more than you could block.
Is that why you said the Jet band is playing earlier in the game and hasn't stopped yet? Second down and 3. And the quick to Coles. And he is hit immediately, so he's 2 yards short of the first down thanks to Eric Green. Let's take a look at some of the Jet leaders, and they really have some today. Brett Favre with 3 touchdowns. Leon Washington, the leading rusher, and Lavernius Coles with 3 touchdowns, all in the second quarter.
And Lavernius Coles is smart enough to know that as Cotchery has a big game, a couple big games, defenses will start to focus on him, then he'll have a couple big games, and he'll go back to Cotchery. They seem to have that good kind of relationship that they understand that's the flow of this game.
Third down and 1. Favre has time, and the pass off the mark. He wanted to go to the fullback, Tony Richardson, and it's broken up by Hayes. So 4th down, so the Cardinals do their job, Baldy. Yeah. 3 and out here.
3 and out, exactly what they wanted to do. You know, and you just, you know, you kind of try to chip away at this thing as quickly as you can. And Mangini's head, every coach plays these games. They're more nervous when you're up 34-0, I think, than sometimes when it's even.
That's a long second half, as odd as that sounds when you're up that way, because this is the very thing you worry about.
Ben Graham picking, and Preston said, I'm going to wave it off, and then he picks it up, trying to turn the corner, and he'll be caught at the 23. He saw the possibilities of getting outside, but Abram Elam caught up with him. We'll be back. And welcome back to the Meadowlands. Dick Stockton along with Baldy and the coach. And the Cardinals scoring on their first possession. 3 and out for the Jets, who now are playing with 6 defensive backs, the dime. Drew Coleman and David Barrett are the extra backs. First down at the 24 for Kurt Warner. Pressure up the middle. And Warner completes the pass to Fitzgerald, and out of bounds, and a first down, getting 17.
Now, for one of the few times today, Kurt Warner got excellent protection, and it came from his back over here, Edgerrin James, coming up and picking up the safety blitz. Stoned him cold. Sure, he could have blocked Kerry Rhodes a little bit better than that, but enough for Kurt Warner to get that ball out of his hand.
This crowd is complacent right now, Baldy. And another completion. That's Anquan Bolden, and he goes down, but he gets 6.5 yards on first down.
Well, they want to know, what do you do for an encore when you score 34 points in the second quarter? But I mean, how do you top it?
But that's exactly Coach Mangini is facing an environment. There's no energy on his defense. Yep. There's no energy on his offense. There's no energy in the stadium. Now you're sitting there 34-7, but it's something you have to deal with.
It feels like a scrimmage out there right now. Is lack of emotion that there is.
Second down and 3. Maybe they should do the wave. And there's the pass out of the backfield to Edgerrin James. First down into Jet territory at the 41-yard line. So they hunt and peck their way 9 yards on the last play.
Now, Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald came in being the greatest tandem in this league with number of yards caught this year. And the big stat here is this yards after the catch. The Jets have done an excellent job of tackling them when they've had it in their hands.
First down at the 41. Warner, and unable to hold on was Bolden. Looked like Coach, he tried to run before he had the possession.
Yeah, and those are the little things that escape you when you find yourself in this situation. A little bit of focus on either side of the ball, being up by this amount or being down by this amount. It's that little bit of concentration that the environment you're in right now can sap away from you.
But he was trying to run with it as soon as he caught it. I mean, that's what's missing from this offense in the first half, that yards after the catch, and he tried to do that. Forgot about the basics first.
Make the catch. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Pressure quickly, and it's picked up for the moment. Gets rid of it to Jeremy Urban, and Urban scoots to the outside and gets the first down before going out of bounds at the 30. An ad-lib 11-yard pickup for the Cardinals, and a first down. Jenkins putting the rush on Warner, who got away that time.
I give Kurt Warner credit now because of the second quarter of what he had. He's all of a sudden, with that pocket collapsing the last play, to stand in there, with confidence and not be shook by the strange color jersey of the Jets and their throwback uniforms coming after him, to be able to get that ball off late.
Crowd still passive. First down at the 30. And Warner, they go after the ball, notice. He holds onto it, and down he goes. Brian Thomas went after the ball, and Kurt Warner held on. He's had enough trouble today doing that.
Well, it's all out there. I mean, they know that Kurt Warner has a tendency to carry the ball low and carry it with one hand. And that's exactly where Brian Thomas goes here. Kurt brings that ball back. It's no security there. Ball's just hanging out. Somehow he didn't get that ball out, because in the second quarter, it was out every time.
4th sack of the game. They lose 7. Cardinals 2nd and 16, getting backed up here. And the pass caught by Urban. And Urban inside the 30-yard line. Still about 8 yards shy of the first down.
And they talked a great deal about Kurt Warner putting their 2 hands on the ball. They've been drilling him, but that's not Kurt Warner. You can't teach the old dog new tricks. It's great in practice. You'll give some focus to it, but you're going to revert to the way you deal, the way you've been throwing the ball all these years.
I think he feels like it constricts him from being able to make that last-second read and just get the ball out of his hands. I don't think he's comfortable holding it with 2 hands, even in traffic a lot of times.
Warner, 37 years old. Favre will turn 39 next month. The 2 ageless ones, and Warner stepping up and firing, and it's knocked away by Kerry Rhodes. And it was intended for Larry Fitzgerald, and the Jets very closely with a chance for another interception.
This ball was in the air a long time, and Dwight Lowry, who's done a good job here today, passes Fitzgerald off to the safety, Kerry Rhodes, and Rhodes makes a great break on the ball.
And with 4th down and 8, and you're trailing by a score of 34-7, Cardinals have to go and try to get the first down. They've got to get it inside the 20.
Yeah, with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, this is a big enough hill to climb. You've got to try to take a shot at coming away with a touchdown here and not just settle for a field goal.
And Warner stepping up, and his pass caught, and the extra effort. First down, Larry Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald had the linebacker on his back. And a first down for the Cardinals. They get 10 yards.
But it's just a great effort all the way around. Kurt Warner against the 4-man rush, slipping the traffic, and now here's Fitzgerald. Here's the strength of what he has.
It was Poteet.
Yeah, he and Anquan Bolin, that sheer size and physicality is what they make their money on.
So they make it on 4th and 8. Can they make it into the end zone? This pass caught by Urban and out of bounds after picking up close to 8 yards on first down.
On that last play where Fitzgerald picked up the first down on 4th down, you got Hank Poteet hanging on him there. Where's the pursuit? Where's the pursuit? And that's the energy that's missing right here on the defense, coming over and finishing that tackle, not letting him get away.
Baldy, it's almost like the Jets are saying, you mean we have to play another half?
Is this thing over? Isn't it enough?
Well, you're waiting for someone else to do the job.
11th play of the drive. And the play is blown dead, and a false start call, 5 yards against the Cardinals.
Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Levi Brown, the right tackle.
Levi Brown moved a little earlier in the sequence. I'm sure the official came over and kind of gave him the the traditional warning, hey, you got to crowd that line, you got to hang in there. Clearly he moved early on that one, and the official couldn't let it go a second time.
You're throwing it every down, and you're on your heels sometimes. I mean, you're just trying to get back because you know the defense man's got his ears pinned.
2nd and 9, and up the middle on a shallow cross. Edgerrin James was the intended receiver, and that pass thrown behind. So 3rd down and 9, and of course the Cardinals have 2 downs to get it done here because they went for it on 4th down earlier.
I don't think there's any question that this is 2-down territory. You don't have to get all the yardage on this play. One of those checkdowns that they've been using to get down the field can work just as well right now.
Well, and you already made that determination. You don't go for it on 4th and 9 back here on the 30 and then not go for it, whatever the D&D here, unless, of course, it's a sack or something disastrous pushes back.
Well, Diamond, look over here. 4 receivers all bunched up. Now Edge comes over to help in protection.
He has time. The pass caught inside the 5 by Steve Breaston. He caught 4 passes in that last series, catches 1 big one for 15 yards. 1st and goal at about the 2.
Well, here's Breaston. He's going to come across. It's what you call the bunch formation. One of the few times today that they've actually run that formation. You can see nobody in the middle of the field. The bunch formation does is you hope exactly that happens, that 2 guys go with one and nobody goes with the other one. That's what happened. There was a breakdown there.
1st and goal at the 2. Edgerrin James on the handoff gets his 2nd touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. So the Cardinals silence the crowd even more, if that's possible, scoring on their first 2 possessions, stopping the Jets 3 and out. And now it's 34-13, point after coming up.
Yeah, maybe just a 2-point after here. I mean, just try to get as many points every time you can. Maybe the way. They're down 20-21 right now.
Obvious, Coach?
Yeah, because you've got the 3 scores. You're safe at the 21-point differential. If you can now turn it into a 20-point differential, that makes a big difference, possibly later in the game. Sounds a little far-fetched at this point, but the way Arizona's gone up and down this field in the first 2 series, not as far-fetched as it sounds.
So here's the 2-point conversion. It's 21-point deficit right now. Could be 19. They give it to Edgerrin James, who goes in for the 2. So 15 points scored by the Cardinals, and still 5:41 to go in the 3rd. It's 34-15. Well, the Jet now leads 34-15. Arizona scoring 15 points. And I got to ask you, Coach, have you been in this position with a big lead and having the team come back?
Well, obviously enough that I'm up here in a booth with you and not on a sideline. So, yeah, unfortunately, and I'm just now beginning to sleep during the night. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
Here's the scoring drive, and Edgerrin James with 2 touchdowns plus the 2-point conversion. And Neil Racker's getting set to kick off to Leon Washington.
Well, they're showing an onside look here, Dick. Now, they got out of it on the last kickoff and went back to a traditional. They're going to keep the Jets guessing here as long as they can.
Ooh. And they try the onside kick, and it's recovered. The Cardinals had it first. Now a loose ball. And let's see. You know, you got to wonder whether you may go for it a little too early. 34-15.
Well, this is a classic. This thing could change possession 2 and 3 times just in the time it
Cardinals
takes to
get it.
Unwind them. How about that?
How about that?
It looked like the Cardinals had it. He gave the ball up. It looked like the Jets had control of it. But between then and the officials getting in there and sorting it out, the Cardinals got their hands on it.
It was actually a great call because the way that they deployed everybody, they had 3 Cardinals going for the ball and 3 Jet players there. And they got the bounce. That was the key. They got the bounce up here. See, 3 Cardinals, 3 Jets.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie ended up pulling the ball in. And the reaction of Neil Racker. So Kurt Warner back on the field with the Cardinal offense on the 41-yard line. Tell you, that was not a surprise play at all because they lined up for that.
And Cromartie is a guy that has played offense, the number 1 pick.
Warner on 1st down, no pressure. And he dumps it off to Tim Hightower. And Hightower is buried at the 50 after a 5-yard gain by David Harris.
And I'll say this is what the onside kick did to the crowd. It woke them up. They've been in a slumber since halftime. Now they think this can turn. This is how games do turn when it gets like this.
And you wonder if the onside kick doesn't work and the Jets score, you're really taking yourself out of the game, Coach.
Well, yeah, given the point differential at that point, but you got to make something happen. And right now, it's all going Arizona's way.
Fitzgerald with the grab and the first down to the 39.
You know, at this point, I understand what Coach Mangini and Coach Sutton are doing. You got to constantly teach, but at some point, the best teaching method is to take that 2x4, put it to the forehead of the mule, and say, "Look, we're not getting it done. Someone's got to get riled up here." And I appreciate the teaching approach they're taking. Someone needs to get upset.
First down at the 39. Cardinals down by 19 points and a flag down and a false start. So that's the second false start penalty against Arizona in the last two series. It will bring up 1st and 15.
Todd Haley on the left.
Delay of game. Defense, number 11, simulating the snap of the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Excuse me, I thought the first sign was a false start.
Offense.
It is a false start.
Penalty.
That's weird. That's pretty weird.
Well, you covered both sides of it, though.
It's a weird day.
I saw the official signal a false start, and that's why the preliminary signal indicated that. So I was surprised when Scott Green said otherwise. So 1st and 15 at the 44. Warner up the middle, and Larry Fitzgerald makes the catch and inside the 15. Another big gain, 32 yards.
Well, the Jets are still bringing pressure, and the backs, you saw again there, an excellent example, the back stepping up, taking the blitzer, Kurt Warner taking his time, getting in behind the depth of the linebacker. You can't be too passive. You got to bring pressure. You got to change it up. New York is trying to do different things, but right now, Arizona's just seems to have their number, and Kurt Warner's in that rhythm that we saw 2 weeks ago against Miami.
Fitzgerald with 6 catches for 96 yards. Steve Breston has 5. Bolden with 4. And on first down, this pass is to Breston, diving in and gets close to the goal line, less than about a yard away. David Harris prevents the touchdown, and it'll be 1st and goal at the 1, and the Cardinals ready to go in again.
Well, should they punch it in, they should be looking at that. They've already committed to it, that 2-point conversion that will now take them inside of the proper score differential to not have to go for it late in the game.
And this time they're going to throw to Fitzgerald. Wasn't looking. Rivas was covering. 2nd down and goal.
Kind of a free play. Kind of a free play. I mean, this thing is set up for Edge to score. One of the few times in the second half that Kurt's had bad timing with the receiver. See, Fitzgerald's going to the back pylon there on a fade route. Kurt was throwing a fade stop to his back shoulder.
And I like the way you know Edger and James so well. You can call him Edge, you know.
That's what they call him around the league.
No, I know.
Actually, Hightower in there right now.
They call him High?
Well, he's a rookie. He's got to earn his name.
2nd down and goal. Play action for Warner. Fires, and not even close to Fitzgerald. So now 3rd down and goal. They've got 2 plays to knock it over, if they can.
Well, good smart play on Kurt Warner's part. He's not going to force it in, even though he had the good size matchup with Larry Fitzgerald against Rivas. But he's got 2 more shots. That's that veteran experience we talked about.
James is on the sidelines. He has scored the 2 Cardinal touchdowns plus the 2-point conversion here in this 3rd quarter. But it's Hightower now. 3rd and goal at the 1. Crowd getting back into it. As Baldy indicated, here's Hightower. Touchdown. Tim Hightower with the touchdown. His 3rd TD of the season from 1 yard out. And all of a sudden, and we still have almost 3 minutes to go in the 3rd, it's 34-21, and they'll go for 2.
Yeah, they got a 13-point differential right now. So if they can go for the 2, that's going to take them inside that 12-point difference. Now, you're still going to, the 2 touchdowns, obviously, to take the lead, but you leave yourself the option, and we've got a full quarter and 2 minutes to play to get a touchdown and 2 field goals. So this is clearly the right thing to do.
What we have here is we have a ball game. And the Jets have allowed Arizona here in the first 12 and a half minutes of this quarter to get back in.
Edgerrin James back in. Hightower scored the touchdown. And the pass, and it's tipped away. And that was Kenyon Coleman. And the two-point conversion goes by the boards. And the score is 34-21 in favor of the Jets. And despite the 13-point lead, Captain Jet looks grounded right now as the Jets go on offense, and the kick by Rackers goes out of the end zone for the touchback, or in the end zone for the touchback, and the Jets will start from the 20-yard line. They've had the ball for only 3 plays, and came the onside kick. We'll be right back. 21 unanswered points by the Cardinals after 34 unanswered in the first half, and a defensive stop here could be huge for Arizona.
Well, the Jets have had it 3 plays in that entire quarter. Everything they did right in the first half, it was wrong in the third quarter.
And the onside kick got the Arizona Cardinals an extra possession, keeping it away from the Jets, capitalizing on it, and getting the touchdown.
But now you have Brett Favre, and Brett Favre isn't going to just play hide and seek with the ball. I think the Jets would like to get some more energy going offensively, which they didn't show on the first possession. But they run the ball to Thomas Jones, and Jones picks up 3.5 yards on first down.
Well, they're going to have to have the offense provide the energy right now, because defensively there is no energy for the Jets at all.
Keller, the rookie tight end who's a good receiver, has checked into the game. Leon Washington replaces Jones. Second down coming up for the Jets. They need 6 for the first down. Fake the handoff, and the pass caught by Chancey Stuckey. And Stuckey gets the first down. Knocked back, but his forward motion brings him to the 32 and a pick of 7.
Well, in this third quarter, I mean, if the second quarter was all Jets, the third quarter has been all Cardinals. You can see that was just the 5th play run by the Jets here in this third quarter. Cardinals, in their 3 possessions, 2 off kickoffs and 1 off the onside kick, resulted in 3 touchdowns, and Brett knows right now he's got to answer the call.
And on the slant, Lavernius Coles reverses his direction, ridden out of bounds, but picks up about 7 yards. Antrell Roll, the free safety, making the play on Coles, who has caught 3 touchdowns today, all in the second quarter.
Now, the offense has done their job in terms of responding and overcoming the difficulties. Clearly, the defense has got to step up now as well. They've got to match the execution of what their offense has done against this Jet offense to see if they can indeed get the ball back in the hands of Kurt Warner.
Second down and 3. Getting close to 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Handoff to Jones. First down. Thomas Jones to the 42. 4-yard gain for the first down. And here is the third quarter. Cardinals Spurs. They were down 34-0. Edgerrin James goes over from 4. And then James from 2. They made the 2-point conversion. And then the onside kick. Recovered by Rogers Cromartie, and Tim Hightower, the rookie, going in for the score. They missed the 2-point conversion there. But it's a 2-score game right now with under a half a minute to go in the third. First down, Jets. Keep it on the ground to Jones. Thomas Jones gets into Cardinal territory. So they're running on Arizona. And that may be the last play of the third quarter, getting about 9.5.
They caught Arizona in a blitz that time, and Thomas Jones saw it and then cut behind it. Arizona blitzed themselves right out of the play.
And that is the end of the third quarter, guys, with the score. The Jets 34, the Cardinals 21. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Start of the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton, Brian Baldinger, and And Brian Billick, Baldy and the coach. 2nd down and 1 for the Jets on the Arizona 49. Pass is caught by Stuckey, and a flag is down, and a first down pending the call to the 43. And let's see if it's against New York. Now they're pointing the other way. Or Brett Favre is.
Illegal hands to the face, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty that is declined. They gained 5 yards on the play. First down.
So a first down on the play to the 44 for the Jets. Trying to steady the ship, guys, after the 34-point lead becomes a 13-point advantage. Ball on the Cardinal 44. Late fake to Thomas Jones, and the pass bobbled and dropped. And it was Tony Richardson, the veteran fullback in his 14th season, as we check in with Kurt Menefee with a game break. Kurt.
All right, Atlanta and Carolina. Jake Delhomme coming off that Tommy John surgery in the offseason. He's got more zip, folks. Paying off in a touchdown pass of 36 yards to Muhsin Muhammad. Carolina in firm control in the 4th quarter. Back to Dick, Brian, and Laura.
Yeah, Kurt, Muhsin is the ageless one. That combination back together again. Moose and Jake.
Different team with a healthy Jake. There's a fake pass and a handoff to Jones. And Thomas Jones. And flag is down, and an offsides penalty as you look at the 3rd quarter
Offside.
stats.
Defense, number 53, lining up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Now this happened. I'm sorry, Dick. This happened to Arizona last week with 10 minutes left to go in the game. Washington came in and basically ate up the entire clock. They had a long drive, gave the ball back to them in great field position. Arizona offense came in 3 and out, and then never saw the ball again. This is reminiscent of that right now. We got a lot of time left, but Arizona's got to do something to get this offense, this Jet offense, off their stride.
2nd down and 5 from the 39. Couple of penalties on the defensive side for Arizona, and Favre loops it, and it's incomplete, out of bounds, intended for Bubba Franks.
In this set, do they come after him, trying to rush the throw, or do they play coverage on him?
Favre's pass caught by Lavernius Coles, and a first down to the 25. Drilling it in on the slant, 14 yards, and the Jets move it.
Yeah, Brett Favre took another shot to that ankle, and again, not serious, but just that little bit of a tweak is going to affect him. Here he's going back to his guy for the day, Lavernius Coles. Right now, that's the go-to guy for him, and Brett knows where to go, too.
And I like the matchup. He's got Antro Roll out there, who was a corner, moved to safety, and doesn't cover all that well. They got the matchup they wanted.
Jones is put down. No gain on the play by Aaron Francisco, and Brett looks a little gimpy out there.
Well, again, it's just not a full roll. He just got a little bit of a tweak. Just that little hit. No one stepped on it, didn't roll it over anybody. I'm sure it just got in an uncomfortable position. But typical to Brett Favre, that's certainly not going to affect him in coming out in any way.
And Coach, all Brett wants to do is get through this game with the win and get to the bye. And get a couple of weeks to get that thing healthy and get everybody to stop talking about it.
2nd and 10 on the Cardinal 25. Fake the handoff and the throw. And there's a deep pass, and incomplete. And Jericho Cotchery, who's been the quiet receiver for the day, and a flag is down. And will this be a 3rd penalty against the Cardinals on defense?
Illegal contact. Defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty. Second automatic first down.
Antrell Roll shooting themselves in the foot defensively again, as they did last week.
Well, here Brett comes back, and when he signed with the Jets, I'm not sure this was the uniform and the helmet he had in mind when he came to a storied franchise like the New York Jets. It looks more like he's at Delaware High School here.
Well, he's a throwback. I mean, he is the throwback. Maybe he kind of prefers that.
This may have been the helmet when he came into the league. The Jets were wearing.
He was working out with a high school team this summer in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
And maybe the team ought to wear this uniform more often if they have success. Thomas Jones for a couple. The Titans came into the American Football League in 1960, played 3 years, and they played in the old Polo Grounds in Manhattan. And Lee Eubank took over in the first year with the Jets in '63, and they still played in the Polo Grounds before Shea Stadium was built. Now Shea Stadium is going to be history when the Mets play their last game there.
Last game, well, we don't know when the last game is going to be.
No, we don't, because the National League season coming down to the end. And, of course, Fox will have the National League Championship Series and the World Series coming up in October. 2nd down and 7 from the 17. Pump fake. Favre. Wide open. Touchdown. Cotchery. Well, he's in the mix now. 17 yards. Favre with his 4th touchdown pass of the game.
I tell you the thing you liked about that, it's been Lavernius Coles, and now Brett Favre knows when to come back to the other guy. Haven't heard from him all day long. That's, we're looking, is the light coming on? Is this the sign that they've truly come together as a team? Are they Brett Favre's team now? Is this his identity? So far, so good.
That was a drive that could turn that light on right there. They needed that drive to put this game away.
Jay Feely with the extra point, and boy, did they ever need something, because the Cardinals were coming on strong. It was a 2-score game, but Favre gives the Jets some breathing room. We'll be right back. And the Jets give themselves more breathing room. 41-21 now on an 80-yard 12-play drive. And Jay Feely will kick off. Reston back deep again, a yard in the end zone. Running it out for Arizona. Turns to the outside and pushed out of bounds at the 37. That's where the Cardinals will start. Now they have another mountain to climb. We'll be back still early in the 4th quarter. At the beginning of the game, when we were breaking down the game, and to this point, the question, can Arizona make the 2 weeks away from home pay off? We know the answer to this point. And for the Jets, can their offense get on the same page? Well, they have scored 41 points, the most they have scored in 4 years. And now the Cardinals try to strike back. They're on their 38-yard line, first down. Kurt Warner, 24 of 36, 273 yards, 2 interceptions, and they've hurt. The catch made by Urban, and Urban gets the first down to the 49-yard line.
It's on a day where the Jets wear their throwback uniforms from the New York Titans. It's been a wacky day. And we saw the big swing from the 2nd quarter to the 3rd quarter, but that last drive by the Jets really cemented, I think, what the Jets needed to do today, come in here and find a way to win.
First down on the 49. Good pickup on the blitz, and the pass caught by Breston, and the extra effort may get him the first down as we check in with Laura Oakman.
We're talking about, is this Brett's team yet? I can tell you, after that scoring drive, he came off of the field and every one of his receivers came up and gave him a big hug and attaboy. Then he walked to the bench. The crowd behind him started chanting his name. He gave them a huge smile and a little toast with his glass. I think it's safe to say it's his team and it's his town, and all he had to do was score 41.
Well, it's easier said than done, but he's feeling more comfortable with the Jets, no question, Laura. And the slant caught by Fitzgerald may have yet another first down. It'll be close. Rivas defending on the play.
Well, Kurt Warner said he wanted to run a more opened offense. He wanted to spread it out. He wanted to be in some no huddle. I don't know if this were the circumstances he was alluding to that he wanted, but certainly he's getting his opportunity to run the offense he wants to run.
And the Jets playing 2 down linemen in Bowens and Ellis right now. against Warner, and Warner has Bolden. Flag goes down from upfield, and Anquan Bolden making the catch at the 15-yard line, hit by Kerry Rhodes. And we'll see what the penalty is after the 16-yard gain.
Holding defense, number 24. Penalty is declined. First down.
They decline the penalty on Rivas, take the yardage, first down at the 15.
At the bottom, Fitzgerald on Darrell Rivas.
There it is.
Yeah, just balls in the air right there, and he was still on Fitzgerald. Give you an idea just how big Fitzgerald is. Just gets swallowed up.
Well, there's still a lot of time left, and if the Cardinals can strike, they can make it a two-score game again. We'll see. They're on the 15 right now. Kurt Warner's pass is caught by Bolden, going out of bounds, getting about 7.5 yards on that play.
Well, they've been putting Fitzgerald and Bolden on the same side a lot. Typically, you might spread them out, isolate the guys you want on either side, play a pick-em game. But by putting together, they're looking at matchups and running route combinations together that gives the quarterback a chance to typically read a high-low read.
Now they got him on opposite sides on this play.
Second down and 3, and the quick out to Anquan Bolden. Touchdown! Bolden gets in, and a good play and a good point out by you, Baldy, with Bolden on the outside. One man to beat, goes in for the score, and they scored in a hurry.
And that was the key. Obviously, as good as the Arizona offense has come back in this second half, this New York Jet defense has got to be scratching its head a little bit. And they're going to be concerned about exactly what it is that's going on that's allowed Arizona to go up and down the field in this way.
Well, this time they just picked on the rookie, Dwight Lowry here. And he actually backed up before he came forward into the end zone, which you should never do.
8-yard touchdown pass. Neil Rackers with the extra point. And Warner was a perfect 6 for 6. Flag is down back at the 10-yard line. So penalty flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, number 15. 15-yard penalty on a kickoff.
And that's going to be major. And that's Wallace Wright to the disdain of Mike Westhoff. And the score now 41-28 in favor of the Jets. 15-yard penalty, and they mark it off right now. What's the strategy, guys?
You got three options. You onside, you pooch in behind it to try to pin him down, or you kick it into the end zone. That last one is the least of the three.
Well, I think you got an onside effort right now. They've already gotten one here today. The extra 15 yards, even if they don't get it, it doesn't give the Jets quite the same field position that they could have if they were kicking it the normal distance.
And they have their hands team out there as you look at the scoring drive. Bolden 8 yards. Warner perfect on the drive. And it's a two-score game again. 41-28. The Jets lead. And there's the kick. And it's going to be fielded at the 20 by Brad Smith. And Brad Smith does a good job as the penalty flag goes down right in the middle of all that at the 36. Cardinals scored in 2 minutes.
Personal foul, grabbing a face mask. Kicking team, number 35. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now, you can't fault the thought process. Here you can see on the end of the tackle, they clearly get a hold of the face mask. The thought process is that you're going to pooch him down, pin him down, but yet they don't get him pinned down in the way that they should have.
Was this roughing the kicker?
Boy, you're getting blocked into it here. I think that's a clear cut getting blocked into the kicker. I don't know that that's a penalty.
You get blocked into the kicker, it's not a penalty. It shouldn't have been called like that. And now, with this whole thing by the Cardinals, what they just did just really backfired because the result is the Jets get great field position.
They're at midfield. Oliver Celestine with the face mask penalty. And here is Thomas Jones trying to get outside. And he is dragged down. Good defensive play by Brian Robinson. And a loss of a couple of yards.
Yeah, going back to that pooch kick by the Arizona Cardinals, one of the reasons why you put your hands team out there, the guy that caught the ball was Brad Smith, who is really a multi-purpose, type player. And I think that's why you put him out there. You put your best guys, your best hands, the guys that can do the best with it afterwards, and the result is they get great field position.
There you see the Jet team leaders, Favre with 4 touchdown passes and Coles with 3 TD receptions. 2nd down and 13 on the Jet 48. Favre, Leon Washington breaks 1 tackle and tiptoes his way down the sideline, pushed out by Eric Green. Could have been a loss on the play. Instead, the Jets get 5.
Well, regardless of what happens to the Cardinals going forward, they have to become a better tackling team. It's been an issue in the past, and it's shown up here today. The rookie, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, had a chance to get Washington down there for no gain.
Well, you had the perfect leverage. You work with the player in combination. I've got outside leverage. You've got inside leverage. He can't go outside or inside. We've got him pinned, and yet he got beat to the outside.
3rd down and 8. Cardinals' problems with missed tackles continues in this game. From the 47, and the pass to Cotchery, trying to drive forward, brought down, close to the 1st down, but he appears to be short. Aaron Francisco, who started at strong safety for the injured Adrian Wilson with a big tackle. It'll be iffy here. 4th and a yard at the most.
Well, 2-score game, but if you don't convert this now, you're giving the Arizona offense, which you have not begun to stop this half, an awful short field.
And Brett Favre going out. Boy, we've had a lot of gambling going on as far as on the field is concerned today.
Good aggressive play calling on both sides of the ball.
Not the kind we don't promote. 4th down and 1. Jets are successful on their 1 4th down conversion, and they'll talk it over first with their first timeout of the 2nd half. 7:33 to go in the 4th. At one time, it was 34-0 Jets. 4th and 1. Baldy, you endorse this?
I don't. I think that you pooch this ball, put it deep into the Arizona Cardinal territory, and make them go a long distance.
I endorse if it works. If it does not with Baldy, make them go the length of the field given this amount of time.
Oakland on 4th down and 1. And they're going to run it. And no, they're going to pass it wide open, and a touchdown to Cotchery. Jericho Cotchery, what a great play on a great fake to Jones. If they had handed off, he would have had the 1st down. 40 yards for the score. And the Jets may have put it away with that touchdown. That is the 5th TD pass of the game for Brett Favre, who came in with 6.
Well, that's an all or nothing call. You got to give Brian Schottenheimer and Eric Mangini and Brett Favre credit. They were going to go for the knockout punch. Certainly you leave yourself vulnerable if you don't convert that. You give it back to them on that 40-yard line, but it worked. So they got the genius cap on right now.
That's Favre playbook right there. Because he turned his back to the defense on the play action on 4th and a yard like that, and that's what has made Brett Favre the celebrated guy that he has been, being able to gamble and take chances like that and make it work.
Ties a career high with 5 touchdown passes, and it's the 4th time he has managed to throw 5. And Jay Feely on for the extra point. And Feely's kick is good, and the Jets now lead it 48-28. And 7:26 to go in the 4th. Well, on October 9th, the 2 best teams in the National League will put it all on the line as they go head-to-head to determine which one will earn the right to advance to the World Series. Coverage of the National League Championship Series begins October 9th with Game 1 in high definition only on Fox. And the Mets and the Brewers battling now for the wild card position. The Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Phillies are in as it goes down to the wire and maybe beyond. The division series, best of 5, will start on Wednesday on TBS, and we on Fox wish them luck as we get to baseball's postseason.
Well, Baldy, you sized it up. You talked about Brett Favre getting to the win, having a bye week, and all that will entail, getting his ankle healed right, getting a little bit more on page with this offense, and they come back and play Cincinnati, Oakland, and Kansas City.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good run. of teams that you got to feel pretty good about going up against and getting a nice run at this thing.
And the way Brett has gotten the ball to Lavernius Coles and Jericho Cotchery, all of a sudden in 1 week, this whole thing can turn around. Those are the type of games if you can start stacking wins one at a time, maybe get to 5-2 and get yourself ready for the second half of the season.
And not only that, but after a game with Buffalo, St. Louis is the opponent here. So 4 of the next 5 games after the bye week could be kindly games. Steve Breston returning for Arizona finds an opening and is tripped up at the 33-yard line. So this is a pivotal game that the Jets, coming back from the 48-29 thrashing Baldy on Monday night. Favre was hurt, and you didn't know which way the Jets were going to go, and they've really more than steadied the ship today.
Well, you know, I mean, Arizona had opportunities early, and give credit to the Jets defense. They've created a lot of turnovers. They got the ball out of Kurt Warner's hands, and Brett Favre, who said that, he didn't get much sleep coming back on that red eye from San Diego Monday night, but seemed spry and in good spirits on Friday when we met with him. Wasn't worried at all about his ankle.
Those red-eye flights were all-night flights. Not easy to sleep on them, as you well know.
We get our share of them.
First down on the 34. Kurt Warner going to Edgerrin James underneath. And he has hit at the 37, picking up nearly 5.
Yeah, and the Jets are in a situation now where obviously the passive nature of their defense, given the time, there's a lot to be gained here. They have not looked good in the second half of this game, and plenty of opportunity for Eric Mangini to do a lot of teaching come Monday. But right now, they got to finish out this game and show that they can do that.
Second down and 6. Again underneath to James, and he is hit and buried at the 40 by Calvin Pace.
Interesting, we talked with Brian Schottenheimer about Brett Favre and when he got dropped into his lap, how excited he was looking at the cut-ups of how Brett played last year. Brett, though, his first choice was, give me to Minnesota, get me to Chicago, get me anywhere where I can go beat the Green Bay Packers up. He wanted to go get revenge against them, but more than happy to be here and playing right now.
Third down and 3 for Kurt Warner, and the first down catch made by Steve Breston. As we wind down to 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Cardinals and Jets, for historians, haven't played that much, only 6 times ever. And the Jets haven't lost to the Cardinals since 1975. That's a 33-year span that they played 4 games. And it looks like the beat goes on for the Jets. Sideline pass was caught by Breston, breaks the tackle, and still going, and finally out of bounds. It was David Barrett who initially missed Breston, and he goes out of bounds at the 17. So first down Cardinals. And then rain begins again. Had a lot of it before the game, Coach.
Well, you got to feel good, regardless of how this game finishes out, for Kurt Warner to have worked back the way he did. That was just an absolute miserable first half. And it's this type of veteran presence that Ken Wiesenhunt talked about in making him his quarterback. And you've got to feel better for Kurt Warner given the way this game started.
But those 5 turnovers, 4 capitalized on by the Jets, really hurt. This is James on the reception. It's about 3.5 yards on the play. 48-28. Cardinals need 3 scores. Remember, they have been successful on 1 onside kick today. Warner into the end zone, and it's caught by Jeremy Urban for the touchdown. Well, the Cardinals went 2 minutes to score their last touchdown, and this is a 14-yard strike to Urban. And with 4:49 to go, we're back again to a possible 2-score situation.
Well, you're going to see Urban is going to take this ball just down the seam. Kurt throws this ball with anticipation, a little hitch move to the outside, and that hole opened wide open, and that should not happen against that coverage.
Another 3-man rush. Deciding to go for coverage rather than pressure on the quarterback.
The old prevent defense, and Neil Rackers with the extra point. And it's now 48-35. I want you to know that coming up next, the second game of our Fox doubleheader, Redskins and Cowboys, always a battle royal, but with the NFC East the way it is this year, it takes on a little extra special tones.
Well, and Jason Campbell has really come on in the last 2 weeks. He's played very, very well. Give Jim Zorn a lot of credit working with them. That offense is up and rolling, and it is the Cowboys' biggest rival. So they will be ready in Texas Stadium for a rumble.
You know, we were there 2 weeks ago when we saw Jason Campbell make that great check, step up in the pocket, beautiful pass to Santana Moss, and we said, maybe, just maybe, we may look back on that play and see that as a seminal moment in the growth of Jason Campbell.
There you see some of the facts. The last game in Dallas, Cowboys won by 5. Redskins have won 2 of the last 3, however. And so the Cardinals, who scored in 2 minutes the last time they had the ball, made it in 2.5 this time. And again, looming is the onside kick situation with 4:49 to go. Well, you know, you said it, Coach. Eric Mangini has seen his team outplayed in the second half. And even though he has the 19-point lead, not the 13-point lead, not pleased at all.
And he'll do something about it on Monday, I promise you, because it does provide you that opportunity to make that point to your team. We're not going to win a lot of games if we do this.
Kick has to go 10 yards, and the Cardinals have it. And it was Ralph Brown. Flag goes down. Brown recovered the onside kick.
This is a tough call for the officials. Did he go 10 yards? Look, Ralph Brown is on the outside there. Now he landed over the 40. He took off before
illegally
the 40.
touching the ball prior to going 10 yards. Inside of 5 minutes, the ball can be placed at the spot of the illegal touch. First down.
They can review this, but I think you'd have to have just the right angle. That one shows the ball behind the line. It's where the ball is when you contact it. I think in that instance, based on that view, they've got a legitimate call here.
The ball was definitely behind the 40. He landed beyond the 40.
But he takes off before the yellow stripe. Okay, so he's now grabbed that ball before the 10-yard mark. Comes down after the 10-yard mark. And there was an official right on the 40,
yes,
looking right at it.
Stoppage of play. Play clock, game clock still shows 4:49 to go. And Wisenhunt trying to bring a team in to go 3-1. Cardinals have not had a 3-1 record in 23 years. It would have been I guess, miracle. He could still pull it off, but that would have been a banner victory if they could have won on the road here. But they may be losing 2 straight in the East. Brett Favre handing off to Thomas Jones. And Jones gets about 4 yards.
Well, this is an Arizona Cardinal team that has to come back east 3 more times yet this season. Once on Thanksgiving against Philadelphia, Carolina. So they've got a heck of a schedule in front of them. Buffalo, Dallas coming up in back-to-back weeks when they do get home.
Timeout called by the Cardinals. It's their first. And this is a fact. Even though we're in the 4th week, facts are facts. And 83 combined points today, most in the league.
Well, the challenge for Ken Wisenhunt is just what we talked about before, is that the culture that he's trying to overcome in Arizona, that even though they came back and there's some things to salvage here, he's got a task in front of them. As we've talked about, they're going to come back and play a very good Buffalo Bills team, an undefeated Dallas Cowboys team, a bye, come back and play the Carolina Panthers. He's got an uphill road here, and he is going to have to, on his sheer strength of will, convince these guys we aren't the same old Cardinals. We don't have to give in to the traditions of the past.
2nd down and 7. Wayne Hunter, number 78, lines up as an eligible receiver as a tight end on the right side. The handoff is to Jones. Good cutting up the middle. And Jones appears to have a first down to the 29-yard line. And we want to congratulate Bob Mueller, our technical manager, who got married. And our congratulations to Bob and his new bride, Terry. Got married Friday night. And all of us send our best to the Muellers.
In our honeymoon right now in the Arizona desert. Indian Reservation.
78 eligible now.
Probably watching some of this game back there right now.
I'm sure that's what they're
Hopefully
doing.
not.
I'm sure that's what they're
Hopefully
doing.
not. First down on the 28. And Thomas Jones up the middle, picks up a couple. Under 4 minutes remaining. And the Cardinals call a timeout, their second.
We talked earlier about, we didn't talk about it, but didn't allude to the fact that Ken Whisenhunt has turned over the play calling duties to Todd Haley. And part of it was he made the point that I want to be able to do those things that I have to do as a head coach. And I'm not sure this was the game he had in mind with it, but it's something that was a smart move, I believe, on his part, because if you're involved with the play calling, you can't deal with the emotional state that your team's in right now. And they're clearly in an emotional state. So that's what's going to challenge Ken Whisenhunt right now, and turning the play calling over to duties to Todd Haley, who's been doing a pretty good job over the last month or so, was probably a good thing at this point.
Well, we came into this game with two graybeards who were briefly teammates in Green Bay. Brett Favre, who turns 39 next month, 37-year-old Kurt Warner, who had played in the stadium, of course, in the blue of the Giants, and comes back and has some big-time problems in the first half, and Favre gets the measure of it as Jones, off left tackle, stumbles and gets a few. And the question coming in, Cardinals with their prolific offense presenting a challenge for the Jet defense, and it was the Jets who rolled over in a 34-0 advantage on the Cardinals in the first half. Cardinals rallying in the second half, but appearing to come up short as Arizona calls its final timeout.
Well, I think particularly the Jets, seeing what the Cardinals did, and I knew they moved the ball up and down the field in the second half, but having to play that rookie Dwight Lowry, he got quite an education today, and they're going to be a better team going down the way when they get some of these bodies back, and if Justin Miller comes back to them, they're going to be a better team for having put Dwight Lowry through that.
And this is what you can't get this in practice, what Brett Favre has done here today, getting the ball to his wide receivers. And at some point, you can immerse yourself in a new offense, Coach. They've simplified. We showed they've taken the shifts and the motions out of the offense. But nothing can get Brett more ready to play and to learn his teammates than this game situation right now.
78 eligible.
Warner, 36 of 48, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But the offense came in the second half. 3rd down and 5. Favre goes down. And that'll be 4th down coming up. Touchdown pass to Jericho Cotchery in the 4th quarter. Kurt Warner then finds Anquan Bolden. It was a 13-point game at that point. And Favre, on 4th down and less than a yard, hits Cotchery 40 yards for the touchdown. Warner answered with the pass to Jeremy Urban, but it was catch-up all day for the Arizona Cardinals. They came as close as 13 points, which is where they are now, but now time becoming the major factor.
Well, they just built too big a hole for themselves, given the mistakes in the first half. And you've got to give them credit for fighting back the way they did. And that's what Ken Whisenhunt will look at and work on.
The Jets call a timeout. Cardinals are out of timeouts. That is the second called for by the Jets. Kurt Warner, 401 yards, 2 touchdowns, but the 2 picks, the 5 turnovers. Jets capitalizing on 4 of them. Edgerrin James with 2 rushing touchdowns. Big day for Fitzgerald. In fact, Preston actually caught 9 for 122 yards as well. Favre catches 5 touchdown passes, ties a career high, and Coles with 3 touchdown receptions. And the Jet defense makes a difference. Here is Jay Feely with a 44-yard field goal attempt. And the kick no good. Score remains Jets 48, Cardinals 35.
Still keep it in that range of 13 points, and on a day that's been bizarre already, you just allow Kurt Warner to come back onto the field right here with this explosive offense, scoring as quickly as they have in the second half. Anything can happen here.
Well, they got the rhythm of their 2-minute offense going, so it's not like this is it's not like this is new for them.
They've been in practice all second half
and dusted out of mothballs here. They've got it in full gear, and it's going to test the Jet defense.
Cardinals taking over on the 35, first down. Warner loses the ball. Jets get it back, and Calvin Pace was right there to pick it up. And that is the 6th turnover committed by the Cardinals.
Well, maybe fitting, I guess, for this to finish this way. I'm at a loss. I can't tell you why it comes out the way it does. He's a veteran quarterback. He goes to tuck the ball here. The pocket's collapsing around him. That's one of those things where you feel a little inadequate as a coach, because all you can do is look at him and say, brother, I feel your pain. I don't know what I can do to help you.
And Calvin Pace probably circled this game the day the schedule came out after he signed a lucrative free agent contract this offseason. Said he was happy to get out of Arizona, where he experienced nothing but frustration.
Having a big game today in the uniform of the Jets throwback, blue and gold, as Thomas Jones will run the ball. The Cardinals are out of timeouts. And under 3 minutes to go in the game. And we're going to have one more stoppage of the clock at the 2-minute warning. Loss of 1 on the play for Thomas Jones, who today has gained 40 yards on 16 carries. And the running game not a factor for either team, Baldy.
Well, this game was in the hands of turnovers and big plays throughout the day. I mean, Brett throws for 5 touchdown passes. Generally, you're not going to have a strong ground game when that happens.
Flag is down. Thomas Jones tackled after picking up 4.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 16 covered, the tight end. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Well, a little later on when the Cowboys and Redskins go at it, Jason Campbell, we've talked about how his game has improved in recent weeks. Santana Moss.
78's eligible now.
3rd down and 7 for the Jets. Thomas Jones gets a couple, and that will bring up 4th down as we'll wind down to the 2-minute warning here at the Meadowlands. The Jets headed for their 2nd win of the year. We'll be back. 2 minutes remaining in the game here at the Meadowlands, and the New York Jets leading the Arizona Cardinals 48-35. Taking a 34-0 lead at halftime. Cardinals came back, and the Jets had the answer. It'll be 4th down and 5. Cotchery went in motion. And Favre's pass wide open. Touchdown for the rookie tight end, Dustin Keller. Boy, a lot of these have been so easy, Baldy.
Well, he got a little motion, which said they're going to be a man-to-man. That's why he put Jericho Cotchery in motion. Once Brett saw man-to-man, he said, you know what, we've gotten the ball to our receivers. How about it to a tight end?
And 6 touchdown passes for Brett Favre, and a career high for him, coming off a game in which he struggled in San Diego, hurt his ankle, and what a response on a short week.
Now, I know they're going for 2 points here because that's what the chart says, and that's what you need to do. But at 1:54, and with this different, you only have a couple 2-point plays in your package for the entire year. I'm assuming this is your favorite one. I'm not sure why you'd want to show this one right now. Is it really going to affect the game? Well, yeah, conventionally thinking, maybe. But I don't know that I'd want to show my favorite 2-point play at this point.
Maybe Brett's just going to make something up here. Maybe it won't even be out of the playbook.
He's done that before. 54-35, and Washington close to the goal line, makes it in for the 2-point conversion. And the Jets lead 56-35. And Brett Favre with a record-breaking day, wearing the throwback uniforms, and the Jets coming off the short week and will even their record at 2-2, and the Cardinals, who stayed east and try to gain something in the 2-game Eastern swing, lose to both Washington and the Jets, also 2-2.
This is the magic that every Jet fan was hoping and praying for when Favre came here. This kind of a day. Now, this doesn't happen very often, but even Mangini can muster up a little grin right there, because this is what they just assumed would happen.
And this is, we talked yesterday, every quarterback wants to throw the ball a lot. Kurt Warner talked about, though, the perfect day is when you throw the ball about 35 times. And you look at Brett, he described the perfect day. He just didn't realize he was doing it for Brett Favre. 24 of 34, 6 touchdowns. That's about as perfect a day as you're going to get.
He lost 2 of those 3 fumbles. And the problem with Kurt Warner holding on to the ball looms again after having the first 3 games pretty strong. But Brett Favre, and you mentioned Favre and Warner, were brief teammates in Green Bay, and tremendous respect for what they've achieved here. And of course, Lavernius Coles and Favre's now, I guess, are a tandem. Huh? Billick kicking off, and Steve Breston on the return. And Breston gets to the 20-yard line with 1:47 remaining in the game. So we know that the Dallas Cowboys and the Redskins go at it on Fox coming up next. They are undefeated. The Giants with their bye week. So as you mentioned earlier, all 4 teams winning records.
And the Eagles play in Chicago tonight, later on today. So Washington and Dallas will take a look at 3 of those teams the rest of the day. Of course, the Giants enjoying a bye week right now.
First down on the 20. Big win in the interconference game for the Jets today. Pass caught by Anquan Bolden, and down he goes at the 46. Want to thank our production and technical crew. Today's game produced by Bob Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director is Charles McDonald. The broadcast associate is Mark Schaefer. The technical producer is Pete Chalveris. First down at the 46, and Warner's pass is incomplete. The technical director is Rick Tugman, and the tape supervisor is Michael Nathanson. The audio supervisor, Pat Lucatordo. The studio was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The associate director in the studio is Stephanie Medina. The highlight coordinator is Janice Kazaza. The studio technical supervisor, Jack Simmons. The supervisor of remote field operations is Jerry Steinberg. Warner's pass, incomplete, intended for Fitzgerald. The senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And our thanks to our spotter Chris Visser, statistician Rick Odioso, and Mike Eldridge and Gareth Hughes working statistics in the truck. Thanks for all of you. We talked about the Cardinals, home with the Bills next week. Jets get the bye. Third down and 10. And Warner's pass, and Jeremy Urban appeared to be there.
You know, and every team loves to have the bye. This is a little early to have one for your liking, but you get a chance to get healed up, get a little rest. The Jets are going to have an enjoyable week off. They're going to get everything out of a bye that's intended. Obviously, for the Cardinals, they're going to have to regroup, come back, play a very good Bills team. But when you get a bye in the way that the Jets are getting their bye right now, you're getting the absolute best of what that bye represents.
Wearing the original AFL uniforms of the Titans, blue and gold. And coming up with a strong performance today. Here's Bolden with the reception. First down for Bolden. And he goes out of bounds. And for the New York Jets, 56 points posted, the second most points in their history, topped only by the 62 they scored against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 1985.
And Brett knows this is not a common occurrence in the NFL. You don't get many opportunities like this. He'll enjoy this. But he's a guy that said, look, I want to live conveniently to my facility with the kids. He goes, I'd stay here if I could. Just sleep over there in the new park, Foreign Park, the new facility right there, and just immerse himself in this team and the offense.
Bolden with a 13-yard gain in the first down. What does this do to the Cardinals in the NFC West, where they thought they would have a chance against the likes of Seattle?
Well, it's a competitive conference, which is good. A competitive division, but I'm more worried about the emotional state of this team right now and where they go forward in terms of what they've done in the past.
Well, let's see if he was over and had possession. No, incomplete. Kerry Rhodes breaks it up, and Bolden shaken up on the play. That's not good.
Well, you don't want to see this late. You don't ever see this, but late in the game, in this circumstances, this is a coach's worst nightmare right now.
And Anquan told us yesterday that Kurt's so good about throwing the ball where he doesn't take these kind of shots, but this is hard to avoid here. Ooh, that's helmet to helmet by Eric Smith. That should have been flagged right there.
Yeah, that's going to bring about a fine, but which obviously is secondary here because he paid a price. And that's exactly why the head-to-head, not only for the receiver, but why the rules are in place. That you got to have your chin up, you don't put your head down. Helmet to helmet. This is exactly why those rules are in place by the National Football League.
Both teams walking off. There's such respect for Anquan Bolden, the way that he plays the game. You know, just the toughness to stay there and to, allow that hit to be happen right there. Both teams emptying the bench here, almost like this game should just end right now.
Well, Smith is up, which is a good sign right now. Obviously, he's not quite sure where he's at or who he is. But the concern now has to go to Anquan Bolden.
I want to rewind a little bit. First, we'll take a look at this play again. I have a question for you, Coach. I mean, you see flying out helmet to helmet right there by the Jets.
And it's the launch.
Yeah,
it's the launch and the head-to-head.
And they're bringing out the card. And that's not a good sign.
And it's hard. You're just trying to play football. You're trying to make a play. You're trying to break it up. But this is exactly why these rules are stressed. And that's going to be exactly what everybody's going to show going forward as to why these rules are in place.
Coach, I have a question for you. When it was 54-35 and you're on the opposite side, they go for 2 points. Does that bother you?
No. I was only half jokingly talking about why do that now? You don't want to show your play.
Right,
If you wanted to make the point, is that rubbing it in? Well, going for the fourth down pass was kind of rubbing it in if you choose to. But you know what? Whenever I've gone to these type of games, you just play the game. I don't look for any quarter. I don't take offense if someone, there's things you want to get done. You're trying to work your offense. I never held that against anybody or tried to assign any kind of value to it in terms of what one team's trying to show up another, anything in that capacity.
All these players want to see right now is Anquan Bolden get up. That's the only thing any player is thinking about right now.
And hopefully this is strictly precautionary. Whether there's been movement by Anquan Bolden or not, the doctors are going to make sure that he's immobilized. They're going to do everything. They've got the best care in the world right here for these players, and they're going to do the right thing to make sure that the player is safe.
Sobering moment for the players on the field, fans in the stands as we see. And this is where the brotherhood takes over.
Well, of course, Lavernius Coles, big day today, was teammates with Anquan Bolden at Florida State. In fact, Anquan Bolden came in as the quarterback at Florida State when he was there.
And the ambulance is coming out from the runway here.
Obviously, when something like this happens, and you can see the reaction of the players. It just brings into very clear, poignant focus of the risks you're under when you play this game. And every player understands it. Every player understands that at some point this game is going to end for you. And this is just that sharp reminder that this is the nature of the game. And that's all, not only wanting the best for Anquan Boldin now, that's what's running through each of these players' minds right now. Well, and when you see the competitiveness of the players, obviously this game at 56-35, the under 30 seconds, but you play it. You play, what do we always coach, Baldy? From the first, from the kickoff to the final gun, you play it. You play it all out. And you hate to see an injury at any time, but particularly under these situations. I'd be very surprised if Arizona doesn't just come out and take a knee. This is not the time to be running a play. Yeah, exactly right. So I'd be very surprised if we just didn't see take a knee and let's call it a game and move on to the next assignment.
Boy, don't take one more chance with throwing the ball out there into this type of situation.
You know, this would have been deflating no matter when this would have occurred in the game. I mean, if this had occurred in the second or third quarter, it would have been deflating at that point. It just happens to be under a half a minute remaining.
Each team has charged a timeout on the play. That is the Jets' third timeout. It is also Arizona's fourth timeout. There's no penalty on this because of the incomplete pass.
Technical ruling. And
Hey, so.
second down and 10. Well, they're not going to take the knee. And the pass is caught by Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald gets inside the 10-yard line, and that should be the last play of the game. And we'll find out in the late game the condition of Anquan Boldin, who was taken off on a stretcher, put in an ambulance, and the interception by Darrelle Revis, his second of the game. Returned the first for a touchdown. Time runs out. The game is over. And the New York Jets have beaten the Arizona Cardinals 56-35. So that's the end of the game. The final score, 56-38. When we come back, it'll be the Cowboys and the Redskins. Second half of our Fox NFL doubleheader. So long, everyone.